Welcome everybody to Sparky Anderson Field on a beautiful Thursday afternoon for some baseball, along with Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, and this is Oaks Baseball live on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. The Oaks had the day off yesterday. Maybe you watched the All-Star game, maybe you didn't. If you did, you saw that the CCL South team, headed by Oaks skipper David Solis, won 8-4. 1 for 2 was DJ Miller, one of the 5 Oaks All-Stars, and Robbie Medell pitched the last two innings. Actually got the save there at the end and the win. But for today's game, the Oaks and the Legends duking it out on the diamond for the second time in 3 days. If you remember 2 games ago, the Oaks lost 4-3 on a walk-off home run by Reese Burr-Perrette in the bottom of the 9th inning. There was one away, and Angus Denton threw an inside fastball. It just got over the left field wall at Joe Hicks Memorial Field. The Oaks are now on a little bit of a skid, 19-13 coming in today's game, 13-11 overall. The Long Beach Legends, 20-16, 11-14 in the CCL. Jonah, the Oaks have been struggling on offense, with the exception of that big 17-1 win against the Halos back on Sunday. And that may have been a fluke because they all of a sudden went back to their old ways of getting on early in innings but not being able to advance those runners. In the first 4 innings, they got on their lead runner every single one of those innings, and they could not advance and pass first base. What's the anecdote for this team? Because it seems like it's almost too little too late now, because the Healdsburg Prune Packers in the north and the Neptune Beach Pearl have almost solidified the first 2 spots in the playoffs. The Foresters are now 5.5 games ahead of the Oaks. How do they get out of the slump? Because it almost seems like they almost have to win out now in order to make the playoffs.
Yeah, it certainly seems like there's a lot of things ailing this team. You can look at the bullpen and think that maybe at times they haven't produced quite at the level that we're accustomed to seeing them produce at. But I think the most important thing is the Oaks have done a nice job of limiting their errors. They had 0 a couple games ago, or a few days ago, when they took on the Legends back on Tuesday. And so then the only thing that comes to mind is guys left on base. They left 7 on base 2 days ago. Almost every single inning, 7 out of the 9 innings, they left guys on base. And I think that's where they've been struggling, because they only plated 3 runs on 8 hits. So once again, they weren't able to eclipse that 10-hit mark, which is what we said and what we continue to say is their mark that they have to reach if they want to win. Unfortunately, we have too many experiences where we see this team not be able to eclipse that mark, and that's why they're struggling.
We're going to take a break, send it to our PA announcer for today's game, Chris Ruffinelli, for the national anthem. We'll be right back. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Back here above the press box at Sparky Anderson Field, Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV. The Oaks and the Legends set to duke it out for the 3rd and final time this season. Only a week and a half left of CCO play. First, the starting lineups for the visiting Long Beach Legend coming into today's game at 20-16 overall. They are 11-14 in the CCL play on a 1-game winning streak. That 4-3 win in the bottom of the 9th. Just 2 games ago against the Caneo Oaks. Giovanni Garbello will lead things off out in right field with Valparaiso. Michael Stefanik behind him out in second base out of Westmont College. Batting third, Trevor Steinman at shortstop from Chico State. The cleanup man, Jake Sahagan, playing first base from Sonoma State. Jake Scott behind him out in left field from Houston Baptist. In the sixth spot, Zach Chan playing third base from the University of Hawaii. Griffin Keller is the DH in today's game, batting in the seventh spot from Santa Clara University. Occupying the eighth spot is the catcher Robert Barham from Long Beach City College. And to round out the order for the Legends, out of center field, Grant Gamble from Azusa Pacific on the mound for them. Will also be an Azusa Pacific product, John Cesny. The Oaks field for you will give you the lineups in the bottom half of the inning. Out and right is Milo Beam, and center is Jason Oliver, and left Jordan McFarland. Chase Cockrell playing playing first. Max Weinstein playing second. Grant Mayu at short. Brandon Lewis at third behind the dish. Juan Gonzalez and on the mound. You see him warming up on your screen. The Cal State Bakersfield righty getting his fifth start with the Oaks, Kenny Johnson. Jonah, what are the keys to the games for the Oaks today? Because today is a must-win situation. Almost every league game here on out is a must-win situation, especially with the next 2 days being interleague games.
Yeah, it's simple. They have to eclipse the 10-hit mark. We talked about it in the pregame show. That's been their recipe for success. Also continuing to limit their errors, keep that below one. 1 or nothing typically gives them the best chance of win. And then most importantly, they got to leave under 5 guys on base. If they can do that and convert on the offensive end, they should give themselves the best chance to win.
Giovanni Garbella will dig in here as the overcast begins to settle in above our heads in the sky here in Thousand Oaks, California. Johnson comes set, takes the rubber from the stretch and deals the first pitch upstairs way over the head of catcher Gonzalez for ball one. First pitch time, 5:01. 86 degrees and windy out of right. There was a weather warning here earlier, but that ceased as it was in triple digits back in the middle of the day. The 1-0 from Johnson is slapped up the middle and into center field for a leadoff base hit. Garbella is on to lead things off here for the Legends. That's been Johnson's Achilles heel. His last 3 starts, he's gotten the loss in 2 of them, giving up hits. He does have a good strikeout, fastball, curveball, a slider, and a changeup, but he's been throwing a lot more for contact, and it's been hurting him. The Oaks are in their navy blue uniforms with white letters on the front outlined by baby blue outlining. On the back, white letters. The Legends are in their red uniforms with a white stripe down the side under the armpits. White letters on the front outlined by blue and white numbers on the back. As Johnson got set, Gonzalez, the Oaks all-star catcher who had 2 at-bats in yesterday's game, quickly got up to have a conversation with him, but we're back to baseball now as that meeting quickly ceases. Runner on first, nobody away here, top of the first inning. The Legends and the Oaks are split on the season series, 1 game apiece. The Oaks beat the Legends 5-0 here back in June, and then they lost 4-3 2 days ago. The 0-0 is taken for a strike. 0-1 the count.
Beautiful pitch. For a curveball from Johnson, started up in the shoulders, drops below the belt in the strike zone. And that's going to be key for him to get off to a better start. The last time he started, he gave up 2 runs and 3 hits in the first inning.
Pickoff attempt back safely is Garbella. This is an interesting lineup for Jonathan Rodriguez's squad. If you look back at the other game 2 days ago that these 2 teams played, it's almost the same at the top, but no Reese Berberet in the cleanup spot. He was the one who hit the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 9th. The 0-1 slapped into shallow center field for another single, and that's back-to-back leadoff hits here to kick off the Legends top of the first inning.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we just talked about it. Johnson, the last time he started, gave up back-to-back hits to start the inning. So identical start, but going to have to force perhaps an infield double play.
Yeah, a double play would be forever in Johnson's favor. His last start came back on July 5th. 3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs all earned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Trevor Steinman from Chico State digs in, playing shortstop in today's game. Runners on first and second, nobody away here, top of the first. Johnson texts Garbella at second and deals the first pitch away for ball 1. This will be the first of a 3-game homestand for the Oaks. They play the Orange County Surf in an interleague game tomorrow. Team victory on Saturday in another interleague game, and then they finish up the week on Sunday in Ventura to take on the Halos for the 6th and final time of the season. Johnson takes a sign and deals the 1-0 in the dirt for ball number 2. Back pick attempt is not in time. as Stefanik will get back at first easily.
Gonzalez so elusive behind the plate. He's picked off 9 of 11 batters in this season.
Gonzalez, the best defensive catcher in the CCO, was drafted in 2013 by the Cleveland Indians in the 27th round, elected not to go, and has been a superstar at Oklahoma Baptist. Runners on first and second, 2-0 the count, nobody away here, top of the first. Johnson toes the rubber from the stretch. Checks the runner at second and deals the 2-0 up and in for ball number 3. And now, after throwing 3 pitches that resulted in 2 hits, he's done 3 straight balls, well behind in the count, and this is going to be a rough inning for Johnson if he continues this streak. Takes the sign from Gonzalez, comes set and deals the 3-0, a strike right down the heart of the plate. 3 balls and a strike. The radar gun here at Spark Anderson read that at 44 miles an hour. I can guarantee you that's not right. Johnson typically pitches between 88 and 90 miles an hour on his fastball. Curveball in the mid-60s, or mid-70s, I should say, excuse me. 3-1. Popped up towards right, but out of play, and that'll even the count, or bring the count full to 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's a big foul ball there, too, because coming back from 3-0 to 3-2 is a big deal, and now you are making the batter protect. So he needs to throw something maybe low and away, but still looks like it could be hittable. We'll see if he can gain that control here. Toes the rubber, peers and fires. The payoff pitch. Clipped back against the screen, and we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And it's apparent now that Johnson's starting to feel more comfortable on the mound, got off to a slow start, gave up back-to-back hits, jumped out, down in the count 3-0, but now he's starting to find the strike zone and have more command over his pitches.
Steinman takes a couple of practice swings, waves that bat in a counterclockwise circle over his right shoulder. Johnson deals the payoff pitch, once again popped back against the screen. And for a 3rd straight time, we'll do it at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The next league game for the Oaks after Sunday will be next Wednesday at home against the SoCal Catch. Next week is a big week. The Oaks have 4 consecutive away games starting in La Mirada. Then they head to San Luis Obispo, Santa Barbara, and Pasadena. You can bet they'll be tired, but those are big games. Checks the runner at second once again. Nobody away. Payoff pitch. Runs upstairs for ball 4. Steinman will take his walk, and that'll load the bases with nobody away here for Jake Sahagan.
Nice patience shown in the batter's box by Steinman. Saw a pitch that ran upstairs. Knew he had to lay off it. He did. And now with nobody away and the bases loaded, Legends in a perfect spot to get onto the boards early.
Sahagan from Sonoma State has Garbella at third, Stefanik at second, and Steinman over at first. Nobody away here, top of the 1st inning. It's only been 6 minutes, but it feels like it's been a lot longer just because of the hits and the patience that the Legend have been showing in the batter's box. The lefty digs in, the first lefty that Johnson is seeing in today's game. Comes set on the rubber. Takes a quick look over at third. Kicks and fires the first pitch. Up and away for ball 1. Johnson has only pitched 1 strike that has not gotten contact with it, I should say. A batter has not made contact. And that was the 3-0 pitch back in the last step out to Steinman. He's struggling. 1-0. 1 hopper to Weinstein at second. Underhand to Mayu at second. And the relay over to first is in time for the 4-6-3 double play. But coming home is Garbella. There's 2 on the board. But the Legend take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 1st inning with a runner at third base.
Well, that's one way to help your pitcher out, force a double play. And now you're in a much more manageable situation. You do give up the run, but given that the bases were loaded, kind of the best outcome ultimately.
Unless it was a little hopper back to home plate where you could just tag the plate. But that's pretty unlikely. Jake Scott stepping in from Houston Baptist. The first pitch, waved at and missed for strike number 1. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors here for the Legend in the top of the 1st inning. A walk as well. Runner at third base in the form of Michael Stefanik. The 0-1 paints the outside corner for strike number 2, and now Johnson is finally ahead in a count for the first time in today's game. That can build your confidence just a little bit with a runner 90 feet away. Toes the rubber, gets in that low crouch, now stands tall. Takes the strike from Gonzalez and deals the 0-2, a curveball waved that and missed for strike 3. Scott's down on strikes. That's the first strikeout on the day for Johnson, and we're out of the top of the first inning. Not before one run comes around on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Bottom of the first we go. The Oaks looking to make up the deficit, down 1-0 as we hit the break. Bottom of the first inning at Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks down 1-0. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin with you on hand. Give you the starting lineup for the Conejo Oaks here in the bottom of the first inning. Jason Oliver leads things off out of Cal State Bakersfield. Behind him, Max Weinstein from Cal Lutheran. Brandon Lewis is in the 3rd spot from L.A. Pierce Junior College. Cleaning up for the Oaks is Chase Cockrell from Ole Miss. Grant Mayu's in the 6th spot, or actually the 5th spot from San Diego State. DJ Miller occupies the 6th spot from from Ole Miss. Jordan McFarland in the 7th spot from Arkansas. Juan Gonzalez from Oklahoma Baptist in the 8th spot. And Milo Beam rounds out the order for the Oaks. On the mound for the Legends is John Chesney. The field here as Oliver strides in. Out and right is Giovanni Garbella. Grant Gamble in center field. Jake Scott is in left. I'll give you the infield here in just a moment as Oliver digs in, sporting the blue Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunner helmet. New bat for him today, a clean wood, all wood with a highlighter yellow R on it, the Russell Athletic brand. The first pitch fired in is popped up out of play towards right for strike number 1. The infield for the Legend. Jake Sahagan at first, Michael Stefanik at second, Trevor Steinman at short, Zach Chan at third, Robert Barham behind the dish, and John Chesney on the mound. 1-0 our score. Bottom of the first. Chesney toes the rubber and deals the 0-1, and it belts right in the left hip of Oliver, and he'll lead things off getting hit by a pitch. Seems to happen to him quite a few times. He leads the Oaks in that category, but they get a base runner on in the form of Oliver. And not only that, as Sam Shaken comes in place of Max Weinstein, who is in the field. That's interesting. So Max Weinstein was in the field in the bottom or in the top half of the first, but I guess he's pulled. And Sam Shaken will come in here as a pinch hitter, technically, because he was not originally in the lineup. Shaken from Valparaiso. Interesting decision here. I hope Weinstein's okay. The first pitch, runner on first, is swung and missed for strike number 1.
It's possible that on that double play, when Weinstein maybe planted, tossing that ball to Mayu, maybe he stepped on it wrong, felt the pull in his hamstring. Just speculation, but hopefully he's okay.
Obviously, we don't want to speculate as much as we can, so we're just going to keep it going. 0-1, low for ball 1. 1-1 the count, 2 Shaken, bat 325 as a Crusader. Jason Oliver over at first. The second or third fastest Oaks runner on the team. Have yet to see him in an all-out sprint with Milo Beam, but they both accumulate a lot of ground very quickly. Chesney deals the 1-1, popped out of play, and now Shaken behind in the count, 1-2 strikes. Shaken, one of the more improved Oaks batters over the year. or over the summer, I should say, has really shown a lot of growth, has been a phenomenal talent under Coach Solis, and definitely one of the best fielders as well. He plays every position, second, third, short, unbelievably well. Digs back in, waves that bat over his right shoulder. Szczesny comes set and deals the 1-2. Runner goes. It's cut into shallow right field. Rounding second and going to third is Oliver, and the hit and run is executed to perfection. Runners at the corners, nobody away, and the tying run 90 feet away from home plate with Brandon Lewis stepping up to the plate.
Beautiful hit from Shaken down the right field line, and Oliver with his speed able to advance all the way to third. He got off to it. He jumped on the hit and run, and once he saw that ball get past the infield, no one was going to stop him.
Beautiful hit and run there. Shaken taking it perfectly into right. Lewis digs in now. Also a very improved Oaks batter. Waves and misses at the first pitch for strike number 1. Weinstein is on the bench. He's just hanging out, so maybe he's just not feeling it today after the All-Star game yesterday. Players need days off as well. The 0-1, a curveball low and away, 4-1. That evens the count, 1-1 strike.
Perhaps it's all a psychological thing. Let the legends know, hey, we're going to stick him in, and then at the last second say, you know what, one infield play is enough.
And it was a double play nonetheless. The 1-1, a curveball taken at the knees and in the inside corner for strike number 2. A beautiful 71-mile-an-hour curveball from Szczesny. Shaken at first, Beam at third. Cockrell on deck. That's actually Jason Oliver, my mistake. The 1-2 runs low. That evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends. No runs, a hit, no errors for the Oaks. Wind blowing steadily out to right at 8 to 9 miles per hour with 12 to 13 miles of gusts. Windy day here. The 2-2 hit is cracked over to third on the second hop. Chan gets it, fires over to Stefanik at second. The relay over to first is in time for the 5-4-3 double play. Oliver stayed put at third. And that's a good way to keep that runner at third base and get 2 outs up on the board.
Oliver did a nice job getting back to the third base. Thought about perhaps running home, but saw that Chan held them off, but nice execution from the Legends. Now they can solely focus on Cockrell with 2 away.
Chase Cockrell digging in now from Ole Miss. Back in the cleanup spot after being moved down the lineup the last couple of weeks. The first pitch is taken for strike number 1, an 86-mile-an-hour fastball over the heart of the plate. And for Cockrell, his batting average has dipped quite a bit in these last couple of days, but he is still making good contact with the ball, and I expect him to get back to his original form, though. 1 back against the screen for strike number 2. I want to give a shout-out, of course, to his mother, who has been watching all of our games. She was actually here for the 4th of July, Sandra Cockrell. We appreciate you watching. We know Chase has you in his mind as he steps back into the batter's box with an 0-2 count. Szczesny toes the rubber, kicks and fires the 0-2, low for ball 1.
Good eye from Cockrell, enticing low fastball from Szczesny. Tried to get Cockrell swinging, but wisely laid off.
Runner on third, 2 away, 1-2 count, 1-0 our score. The Oaks down to the Legends here early, bottom of the first. The 1-2 to Cockrell, waved at, and no, they're saying he didn't go around. They're saying it was a check swing and he held back in time, even though he was off balance. So put a ball up on the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away here. 2's the motif here at the Cal Lutheran University scoreboard. The righty digs back in. The righty on the mound toes the rubber. Pearson fires the 2-2. Cockrell waves and misses on that one for strike number 3. So the Oaks are able to get a runner on third base, but can't bring him home. No runs, a hit, no errors. 1 left on base. We're through 1 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks losing 1-0 as we hit the break. Back here at the top of the second inning at George Sparky Anderson Field, Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. New second baseman for the Oaks is Sam Shaken, playing his first time at second base. Max Weinstein was seen dressed in his street clothes. Zach Chan steps up to the plate from the University of Hawaii, waves that bat over his right shoulder. The first pitch from Johnson over the heart of the plate for strike number one. Oaks got a base runner over to third with nobody away. They actually had runners at first and third, then a double play and a strikeout, and the Oaks stranded that runner. A motif that has been common throughout the season. The 0-1 taken at the knees for strike number two.
Those two pitches right there were probably the two best pitches that Johnson has utilized so far in this game. Got off to a shaky start, but now is in a groove.
No balls, two strikes. As I mentioned, Shaken over at second. And that one is a one-hopper into the diving glove of Cockrell. He'll take it himself for out number one. A phenomenal play there from Cockrell. And if you remember 3 days ago, back here at Sparky Anderson, or actually I guess 4 days ago, when the Oaks played the Halos, he had that diving catch over at third. Made the play from his knees. So he is a very good fielder, and he just displayed it right there.
And that was actually a pretty solid hit from Chan down the right base line, but Cockrell able to block it off on the angle and make a glove and catch. Beautiful play.
Griffin Keller digs in now from Santa Clara. Takes a curveball in the outside corner for strike number one. The first pitch to Barham as he pops it back against the screen for strike number one. Zach Chan led off the inning for the legend with a ground out over to first, and Griffin Keller followed that up with a strikeout looking. Now Barham digging in. Takes a couple of practice swings, waves that bat over his right shoulder. Johnson kicks and fires the 0-1, a beautiful slider. Taken over the heart of the plate for strike number two.
Quickly ahead in the count for the third straight batter.
0-2 from Johnson, runs outside for ball one. A waste pitch there and a good one. That slider started off over the heart of the plate and then moved out. But a good take as well from Barham. 1-2 from Johnson, upstairs for ball number two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. 1-0 our score here in the top of the second inning. Johnson comes set. Gonzalez behind the dish, gives him the sign, and he deals. The 2-2 popped up, but out of play behind us, and we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Feel free to tweet at us at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff with 1F at Twitter, or chat with us in the live chat box on the YouTube page. That's been underutilized, so I'd appreciate it if some fans want to shout out. The 2-2, low and away for ball 3. Brings the count full now, and you know why our broadcast is unique is because we give the fans an opportunity to interact with us, which is not common amongst CCL. So feel free once again to chat with us. Anything you want to say, deemed appropriate. The 3-2 popped way up into the shallow infield. Mayu, Gonzalez, Johnson, and Lewis coming in, and the third baseman, Lewis, will take it himself for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. The legend retired in order. To the bottom of the second we go. They lead 1-0. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. One nothing our score, back in the bottom of the second inning on a beautiful afternoon here at Cal Lutheran. We hope you're enjoying your day. Beautiful Thursday afternoon for those watching elsewhere from Southern California. I hope it's not as hot, but I know we have some folks in the south that are not as fortunate. We do apologize as Mayu steps in and takes the first pitch low for ball one. 1-0 our score. But if you do have a mild day, or maybe you enjoy the heat, I don't know. If you enjoy the dead heat of summer, I hope you're enjoying your day nonetheless. 1-0 to Mayu, or 1-0, I should say, to Mayu, was ripped into the bullpen for the Oaks, and that'll leave the count at 1-1 strike. And that's one of the fortunate things about the CCL is that while it does get hot, it's not like the Coastal Plains in the Midwest or the Florida League in the South or the Georgia League or the Peach League, I should say. The 1-1 runs outside for ball two. It's not even like the Cape Cod League out in Massachusetts. You get that humid, moist air that's just unbearable here in the CCL. These guys are lucky that they get to deal with a little bit of sunshine and mild 80 days like today. The 2-1 is ripped into center field for a single. Mayu gets on to lead things off for the Oaks. Emulating the start the Oaks had in the bottom half of the first as well, but they left Oliver stranded at third. Mayu now on base, leads the Oaks in steals, and we'll see if they send him. If not, Solis has been very high on that hit and run. And we'll see here if he decides to do that as DJ Miller steps in. Playing the All-Star game yesterday. Went 1 for 2. Speedy center fielder, designated hitter in today's game for the first time of the season. Takes a pitch low and inside for ball one.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Oaks don't end up sending Mayu. They didn't have any stolen bases the last time these two teams played.
Mayu takes a step-and-a-half lead. The 1-0 is hit into right field. That's going to drop, and Mayu will advance to second. Back-to-back hits here for the Oaks. Puts runners on first and second with nobody away. And now they have the tying run in scoring position with Jordan McFarland digging in. McFarland is batting under 200, but he also is third on the team in walks. He is very good at seeing the ball in terms of where it is at the plate, but he has trouble making contact at times. Very good eye, though, nonetheless. Runners at first and second. McFarland digs in from the University of Arkansas. The first pitch fouled back for strike number one. Shout out to Nellie Beam watching our game today at the All-Star Banquet. Hope you were enjoying it, Mrs. Beam. And, of course, we always appreciate the shout-out. Let's see if we can get that hashtag trending on Twitter. Hashtag Jonah Jonathan, as deemed by Mrs. Beam. The 0-1 runs low and inside for ball number one. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends. No runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. And Jonah, part of the anecdote that you gave at the beginning of the game is kind of coming to fruition. They are on pace to get 10 or more hits in today's game, but they haven't scored any runs yet. 1-1. A curveball taken out the knees for strike number 2.
They're doing a nice job, at least, of making Cesny work on the mound. They're not swinging at early pitches. McFarland epitomizes that patience in the batter's box. One of the tops on the team in walks, and he's showing the patience right now.
The 1-2 from Cesny is up and in, check swing. They're saying he went around, though he looked like he held that bat very, very far back, and that's going to be strike 3. So McFarland is called down on strikes on a call that the bat didn't even leave his shoulders.
That's certainly, yeah, that was a tough call. It seemed like McFarland might have held back his swing, but first base umpire thought he came all the way around.
Regardless, the first pitch to Gonzalez runs inside, away from Barham's glove, and that's going to advance the runners on the passed ball. Mayu over at third. Miller over at second. Now still some speed in the go-ahead run in scoring position now. Tying run 90 feet away from home plate. 1-0 our score here, bottom of the second inning. First of 3 home games for the Oaks. 2 interleague games, and then they end up the week on Sunday, a 5 o'clock game in Ventura. Gonzalez, the Oklahoma Baptist superstar, digs in. 1-0 count. Cesny checks Miller at second and deals. Swung and a miss for strike number 1.
Beautiful curveball from Cesny, and now the Oaks in a similar situation that they were in the first inning with a runner over at third, but they weren't able to bring him home. Now 2 runners in scoring position at second and third. Hopefully Gonzalez can convert.
1 ball, 1 strike. Pitch is dealt, skied over to right field. Running back on it is Garbella. Will it be enough to score Mayu? Mayu tags after the catch to throw in, and it's going to go to third, so Mayu will get in to tie the game. On the sacrifice fly to right, Miller is safely over at third, and the Oaks tie it up 1-1 here in the bottom of the second inning.
Heads up play from Gonzalez, popped that one deep enough back into right field that enabled Mayu to come home.
Milo Beam now will dig in the number 9 hole. Runner 90 feet away, swings and misses the first pitch for strike number 1. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends. 0-1 taken just low for ball number 1. Burham behind the dish, tried placing it, but the umpire said, nope, that's below the knees. Miller at third. 2 outs on the board, 1-1 count. Beam digs back in. The 1-1 shows bunt, pops it back towards third, and that's going to get down. But out of play for strike number 2.
Most players, you're not so concerned when they show bunt, but Beam, he lays those bunts just beautifully, and with his speed, it forces the catcher or the pitcher to really have to think hard about where you want to throw it. If you want to make the play over to first with 2 away, to get Miller.
With 2 away, it's not common for players to show a bunt, but Beam is so good at beating it out. 1-2 runs outside for ball number 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Purdue Boilermaker. Taps the plate a couple of times. Miller waiting patiently on third. 2-2 from Cesny. Popped up towards the left, but that'll go way out of play. Chan out of third was going to make a play on it, but I don't think he has super hops to get on top of the Oaks dugout. So we'll do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 away, 1-1 our score here. Bottom of the second inning. Cesny comes set once again and deals the 2-2. Swung and missed. For strike 3, down goes Beam. Third strikeout on the day for Cesny, and that will end the second inning. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 2 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Grant Gamble, the number 9 hitter, will lead things off here in the top of the third. 1-1 our score. Kenny Johnson still on the mound for the Oaks as he deals the first pitch upstairs for ball 1. Gamble from Azusa Pacific University, A to Z USA. Small town about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles. San Bernardino County, the 1-0 upstairs as well, 2-0. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends, but the Oaks have left a runner on third base. In both innings, they've been on offense. The 2-0 taken over the heart of the plate for strike number 1. Giovanni Garbella and Michael Stefanik all due up in the inning as well. Final time that these two teams will play. 2-1 cut back against the screen. That'll even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Oaks took the first game, 5-0. Second game was An emphatic win for the Legends 2 days ago in the bottom of the 9th inning. They hit a walk-off home run to left. Reese Berberett was the winner as the 2-2 runs low for ball 3. Not in the lineup tonight is Berberett. Instead, Jake Sagan taking his spot in the cleanup spot. Full count here for Johnson. Here's the rubber and deals low and inside for ball 4. Second walk on the day. Grant Gamble now in the 9th spot has drawn a leadoff walk here in the top of the 3rd inning. He represents the go-ahead run. And Giovanni Garbella, who's 1 for 1 on the day with a single. He came around to score back in the 1st inning. Will dig in.
And the Legends, in 3 full count situations, have drawn 2 walks.
Garbella digs in, and Johnson fires the first pitch low for ball 1. Lay of the land for you here for the Oaks. Out and right is Milo Beeman, centers Jason Oliver, and left Jordan McFarland. Infield here after the pitch. Gamble takes a step off of first. Johnson checks him. Toes the rubber, nods. Kicks and fires the 1-0. Popped up way towards right field. Running back on it is Beam. At the track, the wall, and he'll make the catch as he crashes into the wall. Tagging from first to second, though, is Gamble, but the Oaks will take it 1 away. Rest of the field here for you for the Oaks. Cockrell at first, Shaken at second, Mayu at short, Lewis at 3rd, and Gonzalez behind the dish.
Great catch from Beam, able to track that down. It's a much harder catch to make given the sun's beaming right into his face out and right.
Are we going to start with these last name puns again? The
That
sun
time I think it
beaming and
applied.
beams? We're gonna. I feel like we've overused Shaken, especially after last game.
You,
so we'll have to
you overused it. I don't know.
You did it earlier in the season as well. Michael Stefanik steps in and takes a curveball foul for strike number 1. He's also 1 for 1 on the day. Single was stranded on 3rd back in the 1st inning. For those who weren't watching, I hope you were, but if you weren't watching back on Tuesday, Sam Shaken got hit by a pitch, and I made the pun that he was shaking it off as he strutted towards first, and that kind of blew up the floodgates open for the Shaken comments, though. One is a 2-hopper into the glove of Shaken over at second as he shakes his way over to first and tosses it over to Cockrell for out number 2. That's exactly what I'm saying. Of advancing to 3rd on the play is Gamble. And there are 2 away.
That's quite a stretch there to make. He shakes it over.
I was gonna say
say
that he shimmies, but I figured, you know what, if we're already it was literally set up for us, Jonah. Like we were already talking about shaken, why not?
If you're gonna use SH, yeah, might as well just use his last name.
And to his father, John Shaken, I apologize ahead of time. Or actually, not even apologize ahead of time. I apologize for now for the puns. Trevor Steinman digs in 0 for 0 on the day with a walk and pops foul his first pitch for strike number 1. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends. Top of the 3rd inning. Hope you're having as much fun watching this game as we are broadcasting it. The Chico State product waves that bat high over his right shoulder. The 0-1 runs low for ball 1. 1-1 the count. Runner on 3rd. The go-ahead run 90 feet away. All Steinman has to do is put that ball in no man's land. Beat it out, and the Legends will take the lead. It's easier said than done, though. Johnson has been rolling. Retired all 3 batters he faced in the second after walking Gamble. Retired the next 2. The 1-1. 2-hopper over to Mayu at short. Takes a couple steps and hits the glove of Cockrell at first for out number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Runner left at 3rd base. We're through 2.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. We're all knotted up at 1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Back to the top of the order for the Oaks as we are in the bottom of the third inning. Jason Oliver digs in. 0 for 0 on the day, was hit by a pitch back in the first inning, but stranded at third. As Cesny back on the mound, deals the first pitch low for ball 1. He's Jonah Malkin. I'm Jonathan Rifkin. This is Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to watch our broadcast today. We know that Oaks Baseball is amongst the most important things on your list to do. Right up there with shopping. The 1-0 gets over the glove of Cesny, but a sliding stop from second by Stefanik, and he gets Oliver out by a step. What an unbelievable play by Stefanik. Sliding over on one knee, comes up quickly on the turn and fires that ball to Sagian. Able to gun out Oliver.
Just incredible reaction from Stefanik. Seemed like he was going to be late on that throw, was falling over on his back foot and able to regroup and make the play over to first before a speedy Oliver can get over there to beat the throw.
Shaken on the day, 1 for 1 digs in. The first pitch from Cesny, low and away for ball 1. Shaken has been quite a offensive threat these last couple of weeks. His batting average in the last 6 games up above 400. And he is a guy you don't want to mess with as he digs in. The 1-0 from Cesny misses up and away for ball number 2. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for the Legends. 1-1, 3 hits, no errors for the Oaks. I'll give you the lay of the land here for the Legends in just a moment. Cesny comes set. Kicks and fires the 2-0. Shaken takes it low for ball 3. Giovanni Garbella in right, Grant Gamble in center, Jake Scott in left. Jake Sahagan at first. Michael Stefanik at second. Trevor Steinman at short. Zach Chan at third. Robert Barham behind the dish. And John Cesny on the mound. The 3-0 taken at the knees for strike number 1. Temperature drops just a little bit now in the low 80s. Wind breeze picking up. 3-1. Belted to right center field. Running back at his Garbella, and he will watch it hit the wall. Rounding first and going to second is Shaken. And he is now 2 for 2 on the day with a stand-up double and a single. The Oaks have one away, but a runner on with Brandon Lewis stepping in.
Next man up mentality. Weinstein is gone. Shaken steps in, and he's been just phenomenal so far. 2 for 2 and a double. And once again, Oaks with a runner in scoring position, looking to take the lead here in the bottom of the third.
Shaken got the call in the bottom of the first inning. Weinstein was playing second base but pulled. Hope he's okay. Lewis grounded to a 5-4-3 double play his last time up. Looking to change that here. So go ahead run at second. The first pitch low for ball 1. Fourth hit on the day for the Oaks here in the bottom of the third inning. Shaken with half of them. 2 for 2. The other 2 hits by way of DJ Miller and Grant Mayu. Mayu in the hole, Cockrell on deck. 1-0 dealt from Cesny is ripped towards third, but foul into the Oaks dugout. Jacob Flores, the lefty pitcher, quickly scurries out of the way. And he's okay. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the LA Pierce junior college product. Batted .419 this past season. Was committed to CSUN, but decommitted now. Looking for a new home. He was only a freshman, so technically he could go back. Played 4 years of baseball at Alemania along with football. Cesny deals the 1-1. Waved foul back against the leg protector of Barham, and now he's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I'd like to thank our sponsors at this time, Roadrunner Shuttle, for getting the Oaks to and from their away games safely. Stephen Joseph Sweet, orthopedic surgeon in Oxnard, California. Cronies Bar and Grill, Jimmy Don Sandwich. Every Oaks sponsor is an important part of the Oaks family. 1-2. Lewis digs back in. Cesny deals the 1-2. A curveball waved foul, and we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Lewis does a nice job being able to fight off that pitch. Cesny threw a nice curveball that was going to drop on the top part of the strike zone, but Lewis is just able to clip it and foul back to stay alive in the count.
Lewis, deemed by his teammates as B-Lou, takes a couple of practice swings. Looking to fight off another pitch. 1-2, runner goes, and it's waved into center field, but gliding over his Gamble. Shaken has to go back, but they're going to be able to throw him out at second for the fly out, and then the put out thereafter. It's an F8-4 double play, and we're out of the third inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left on base. 1-1 our scores. We hit the break. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV, top of the fourth after this. Top of the fourth we go, all knotted up at 1. Kenny Johnson on the mound. Middle of the order, due up for the Legends. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, but for play-by-play of the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, my broadcasting partner, Jonah Malkin.
Thank you, Jonathan. Great job as always. Welcome back, everybody, to Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks and Legends tied 1-1 in the top of the 4th. First pitch from Johnson dealt inside for ball 1. Sahagian laid off the inside pitch. He's 0 for 1 for the first baseman out of Sonoma State. 1-0 from Johnson, dealt low and inside for ball 2.
He is 0 for 1, but it's a productive 0 for 1, Jonah. He did have that RBI, even though he grounded into the double play back in first. And without that hit, these teams wouldn't be tied up at 1.
The left-hander digs in, lays off the upstairs pitch, and quickly Johnson down 3-0 in the count. It's the 4th time he's been down quickly 3-0. Looking to change that. Deals the 4th pitch, catches the outside corner for strike 1. Beautiful fastball, 82 mile an hour. Looking to work his way back in the count. Johnson deals the 3-1. 2-hopper to Lewis at third. He'll glove it and make the play over to Cockrell at first for a quick out number 1, 5-3 put out. This is the 3rd game in total between these two teams. The Oaks took the first one 5-0 at Sparky Anderson a couple weeks ago, and then had to deal with a devastating loss 2 days ago to the Legends on a walk-off home run in the bottom of the 9th. That was the 2nd walk-off home run where the Oaks have been on the losing end of it. But looking to change that here. Scott steps in, takes the pitch on the outside corner for strike 1. The left fielder's 0 for 1. He struck out. That was the first strikeout on the day issued from Johnson. Steps in, deals the 0-1 way inside for ball 1. Scott did a nice job evading that throw.
Yeah, that was scary, Jonah. 91 mile an hour fastball, the fastest Johnson thrown today, and coming right at you. Good way to evade it.
1-1 is dealt, and that's flexed into right field for a base hit. Just the 3rd hit on the day given up from Johnson, but now Scott's on over at first for the Legends. Yeah,
a nice loop out there into right field. Beam thought he had to play on it, but had to put on the brakes when he realized that he didn't. And sometimes you just have to let that runner get on, and now a double play situation between Mayu and Shaken, though I wouldn't worry too much. 2 of the best in the business at turning 2.
1-1 the score. Legends have 3 hits and no errors, and Zach Chan to step in, who's 0 for 1. First pitch from Johnson, taken just on the bottom part of the strike zone for strike 1, and Chan was 0 for 3 a couple days ago when they played, so 0 for 4 if you count that time. pickoff attempt to first comes late. And he hit that beautiful line drive, but it was stopped midway by Cockrell making a diving effort to make a play. Johnson works out of the stretch, takes the sign from Gonzalez. Nods and deals the 0-1 curveball that drops on the outside corner for a beautiful strike two. Johnson on the day in a little over 3 innings has given up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts for the Cal State Bakersfield product. Scott takes a couple steps of a lead over at first. Johnson checks him. Comes set and deals the 0-2. Popped back and out of play. Will stay in the count at 0-2. Chan, the third baseman in today's game out of the University of Hawaii. From Manhattan Beach, California, entering his sophomore year. Looking to play a bigger role with them this next season. Scott over at first. Johnson checks him. 1 away in the top of the 4th. Deals the 0-2. Runner's going to go. Ball outside. The throw to second is in time for out number 2. Beautiful heads-up play from Gonzalez, and he's caught 10 runners stealing out of 12 on the season.
Why do runners think they can steal on Gonzalez? I understand that you get an A for effort, right? But he is the most unbelievable collegiate catcher I have ever seen. This is someone who calls college baseball at the University of Oregon. He is the most unbelievable college catcher I've ever seen at his position defensively. Unbelievable talent.
1-2, grounded to Mayu at short. He'll make the play over to first for out number 3. So the Legends get no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We're tied 1-1. Oaks looking to change that heading into the bottom of the 4th. Welcome back to Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks tied with the Legends heading into the bottom of the 4th, 1-1. And Chase Cockrell in the cleanup spot to lead off for the Oaks. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but looking to get things started in the bottom of the 4th. John Cesny still on the mound for the Legends. Comes set. Deals the first pitch. Cockrell grounds that into left field for a leadoff base hit, and Cockrell's on over at first.
Nice first pitch strike. Cockrell was able to take that into left field, right in between that gap between short and third, and that's a good way for the Oaks to get on. They're doing a good job, Jonah, like they have been every single game of the season, getting on base early in innings. The problem is they can't get them around. They have a runner left on in all but the last inning, but they still got a runner on second back in the 3rd inning with 1 away, and unfortunately they couldn't get shaken around.
Mayu will step in, and the pickoff attempt over to first comes late. That was the 3rd consecutive inning in which an Oaks batter was able to lead off getting over to first. One was by a hit by pitch was Oliver. As another pitch gets past the glove of Barham, and Cockrell will walk over to second. So Mayu quickly ahead in the count, 1-0 for the San Diego State product. He's 1 for 1 on the day, led off with a single in the second, and ultimately came around to plate the first run for the Oaks. Szczesny comes set. Deals the 1-0, catches the bottom part of the strike zone for strike one.
Nice pitch there. Mayu thought about going, held back, but regardless, a pitch at the knees. Sometimes you just have to pull the trigger, but with that being said, it does make sense to take it sometimes as well, because if you pull the trigger and it's bad, it doesn't help.
1-1 slider drifts outside for 2-1. Oaks on 1 run have 5 hits. And a common theme in all of their games, at least recently, 0 errors. Hopefully they can continue that streak here. So 2-1 the count. Szczesny checks Cockrell at second, and Mayu fouls that one out of play for 2-2. Mayu was 1 for 4 yesterday with a run scored. Got off to a good start, 1 for 1 here. Looking for his second consecutive hit of the game. Szczesny comes set, takes the sign from Barham, deals the pitch upstairs. Ball 2. So 2-2 the count. And Mayu looking to redeem himself after a sluggish or a more sluggish start in the month of July. Swings on the 2-2 and grounds it out of play, and we'll do it again. In terms of his batting percentage, in the month of July, he batted 290, or in the month of June, he batted 291, and in July, he's dipped down a little bit, 257. But his on-base percentage is extremely impressive in July, 462. Two is tapped back against the screen, and also there goes Mayu's bat as well. So he's going to need a new one.
Trying to take, or they're tossing it back to him, almost took off Nate Wenner's head out there in the dugout. He just completely lost the grip on that, and everybody kind of yelling at it. Everybody's okay, obviously, but I think he's going to ask for a new one just because the grip really got away from him.
It's like that time when you're golfing and you take a big swing and then the club just flies out of your hands. And it actually happened one time. I was playing with my dad at a golf course, and I was a beginner, and my golf club came out, and the person in charge had to call off everybody and tell them, hey, look, we got a club in the middle of the
I think
course.
You're just admitting to the world that you're just not a good golfer.
I'm not a good golfer. I'll be the first to admit it. I'm looking to improve.
I mean, I've seen that happen, but like it's not very common. I feel like it's happened more than once to you, but you're holding out on us a little bit. I'm not a good. I don't golf, so I can't disagree with you also.
2-2 curveball is slapped into center, and it's going to drop for a base hit. Getting past the glove of Gamble, Cockrell's going to come around. Mayu sprinting around second. Cockrell's going to come around and score. So the Oaks lead it 2-1 after a base hit from Mayu into center.
Yeah, base hit from Mayu, and then the error out in center field, and a good job there for the Oaks, able to get around. And actually, they didn't put an error up on the board, so they might give him an RBI triple. Now, that may just be due to the home scoring. Sometimes home teams will boost the home batting average of that player, and so they are.
So an RBI triple from Mayu gives the Oaks the 2-1 lead. DJ Miller steps in, takes the first pitch for a strike. And Mayu's 2 for 2 now. And DJ Miller looking for his consecutive hit on the day. 0-1 tapped back, and he's down in the count 0-2. So an interesting play. Mayu slapped it into center. It seemed like Gamble was going to be able to get underneath it. But instead, the ball gets past his glove. Cockrell came home, and Mayu over at third. 0-2 cut on and missed for strike 3. That puts 1 away for the Oaks in the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, 3-pitch sequence. It almost seemed like Miller was in a little bit of a lull there after that big play for the Oaks. And 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and he's sent back to the bench. Nice high fastball to cap off that at bat by Szczesny. And he has 3 strikeouts under his belt. Actually, 4 strikeouts, I should say, under his belt.
McFarland, the Razorback, steps in, watches the curveball drop inside for strike one. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout, but he's been an anomaly because in June he batted 184, but in July batting 350. As he watches the 0-1 drift outside for ball one. And he actually is second on the team in the month of July with an on-base percentage of .435. 1-1, taken low and inside for ball two. So Mayu over at third with one away in the bottom of the fourth. And Oaks lead it 2-1. 2-1 from Cesny is swung on and missed to bring the count even at 2-2.
Oh, that was a nasty 71-mile-an-hour changeup. Started up with the inner shoulder, cut outside of the zone, and had McFarland swinging well out in front of it.
Cesny comes set on the mound, takes the sign from Barham, and deals the 2-2 that McFarland just manages to ground out a play, and we'll do it again. Had to reach for it. A curveball that dropped below the strike zone, but McFarland had to salvage his swing by fouling it out of play. 2-2 is dealt outside to bring the count full at 3-2. First full count situation for the Oaks. Legends, their counterpart, have 3. Cesny comes set. Deals the payoff pitch that's grounded in to short. The play over to first will come in time, but Mayu will come home, so an RBI goes to McFarland, and the Oaks lead it 3-1.
Another productive out there for the Oaks. Yeah, it is a 6-4 putout, or 6-3 putout, excuse me, but get the job done, scoring the run, and now a little bit of insurance here for the Oaks.
So an RBI triple from Mayu brought Cockrell home, and an RBI 6-3 putout sends Mayu home as Gonzalez watches the first pitch drop below the strike zone for ball one. Gonzalez played in the CCL All-Star game yesterday. Takes the pitch on the outside corner for 1-1. One of the best defensive catchers in the league, arguably the best. If you factor in, he's caught 10 runners stealing out of 12. 1-1, swung on and missed for strike two. Hit a sacrifice fly out of right field that sent Mayu home for the first run of the day and tied the Legends in the second. But 2 away. 1-2 grounded to short. Steinman will make the glove and throw it over to first for out number 3. But the Oaks play 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. They lead it 3-1 as we're through 4 full here at Sparky Anderson Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break. Oaks in front of the Legends 3-1 heading into the top of the fifth. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jonah Malkin. Alongside me is Jonathan Rifkin. In game 3 of the 3-game set between these two teams, Kenny Johnson still on the mound for the Oaks. And leading off in the 7th spot, Griffin Keller. For the Legends, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, but looking to change that here. Johnson deals the first pitch. Just misses the outside corner for ball 1. Johnson on the day in a little over 4 innings. He's given up 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. 1-0 is ripped out of play for 1-1. That run came in the first inning. In fact, 2 of those 3 hits came in the first inning. So Johnson has regrouped on the mound quite nicely. 1-1 is ripped towards first. Cockrell will get his glove in front of it and tag the base for out number 1.
Oh, a short hop backhand by Cockrell. He's pulling out all the stops today and make sure that ball doesn't leave the infield. You saw the diving stop earlier on the 1 hop. Right there, a beautiful backhand on the 1 hop, able to take it himself. Cockrell doing a phenomenal job in Cody Santana's spot today. But you can't complain too much if you're an Oaks fan. By the way, Oaks first base coach Kyle Jones got ejected. We're not sure why, but that is the case. More on that if we can get updated on it.
Spirited first baseman nonetheless. First pitch is cut on and missed for strike 1. Robbie Barham, he's 0 for 1, making his 2nd plate appearance for the Legends. Popped one out to short in the 2nd. 0-1 right over the heart of the plate for strike 2. Beautiful pitch, 86-mile-an-hour fastball from Johnson. Looking for his 3rd strikeout on the day. Called for time. Barham was 1 for 2 a couple days ago with a 2 RBI double. 0-2 slides out for 1-2. He's playing back at his home field at Joe Hicks Memorial Field, the Long Beach City College home field. 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. Put 2 away for the Legends, and Johnson has his 3rd strikeout of the day.
Johnson dealing now. After a rough first inning, he's only given up 1 hit and 1 walk. Other than that, he's retired the Legends in order. Doing a good job settling in, doesn't seem very rattled, and we're going through the motions.
Bottom of the order, Grant Gamble steps in, lays off the upstairs pitch for ball 1. Drew a walk in the 3rd. 1 of 2 walks on the day for Johnson. He didn't play in the Legends' 4-3 win over the Oaks, but did play in their 0-5 loss back here at Sparky Anderson. 1-0 from Johnson, drops on the inside corner for a beautiful strike 1.
Oh, nasty slider there. Started off on the left-handed or the right-handed batter's box, excuse me, and curled all the way in.
1-1 fastball, just gets past the glove of Gonzalez for 2-1. Gamble from Azusa Pacific was 0 for 3 in that 0-5 loss with a strikeout, but also had a walk of his own. So 2 walks now in 2 games against the Oaks. 2-1 from Johnson. Beautiful slider that drops on the inside corner for 2-2.
Beautiful placement. Not only did it drop on the inside corner, but that was right at the knees. Gamble thought it could be a little bit low, but no, says the umpire.
2-2 just misses the outside corner to bring the count full at 3-2. That was a close one. Nearly collected his 4th strikeout, but now the 4th full count situation for the Legends. Payoff pitch, catches the outside corner for strike 3. 4th strikeout on the day for Johnson, and 3 up, 3 down for the Legends. They still trail it 3-1 heading into the bottom of the 5th. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcast onto YouTube. Oaks looking to extend their lead after the Bottom of the order for the Oaks here in the bottom of the fifth. They lead at 3-1. Milo Beam to lead off. And then we'll get back to the top of the order. Beam, Purdue Boilermakers 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout. And John Cesny still on the mound for the Legends, entering his 5th inning of work. First pitch, cut on and missed for strike 1. Cesny, beautiful 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Has 4 strikeouts on the day. Comes set, deals the 0-1. Swung on and missed for strike 2. And Beam he's a big contact hitter, sometimes struggles with strikeouts. Looking to change that. 0-2 is ripped down the first base line into fair territory. Rounding first and coming second against the wall. He's going to round second and coming all the way over to third with a leadoff triple for Milo Beam.
Well, there's no better way to do it than that. Milo Beam says, I'm going to take that all the way down the first base line, get you into the corner, and advance to third on the play. What a beautiful leadoff hit for the Oaks, and all I have to do is get a ball in play, within reason that is, and they have another run up on the board.
Second triple for the Oaks on the day, and already they have a runner in scoring position with Jason Oliver. The top of the order steps in, quickly rips that into right center. That's going to drop against the wall. Beam is going to come around and score. Jason Oliver is going to come around second, and he has an RBI triple as well. Back-to-back triples gives the Oaks a 4-1 lead here in the bottom of the 5th.
Oh, Jonah. And here's where the offense starts. Your key to the game for the Oaks was get 10 hits or more. They're at 8 hits. They're up 4-1. Back-to-back triples to lead off the bottom half of the 5th inning. Everything that we have talked about that this team has needed to do, they've been doing, and they're in the driver's seat because of it.
Unbelievable. Third triple in this game alone, back-to-back. Unbelievable. First pitch. Shakin taps that back against the screen for strike 1. And already the Oaks on 4 runs have 8 hits in the bottom of the 5th, and no errors for either side. Not to mention they've only left 2 on base, so they're definitely following through with those keys. 0-1, Shakin hits that deep into right, but Garbello will make the catch, but tagging from third and coming home is Oliver, and the Oaks lead it 5-1.
Well, that's an easy sacrifice there. Just get it out as far as you can into right field, and Shakin still 2 for 2 on the day, and now an RBI under his belt. He has become the guy to step it up off the bench for the Oaks, having to come in as a late scratch by Max Weinstein, or by way of a late scratch of Max Weinstein, and really producing the Oaks slowly but surely, making their lead a little bit stronger, putting some more cushion here in the middle part of the game.
Brandon Lewis will step in, lays off the high pitch for ball 1. What once was a 3-1 game heading into the bottom of the 5th, Oaks have extended it to 5-1 and just 1 away. 1-0, Lewis rips that into left center. It's going to drop, and he'll round first and come to second with a stand-up double. He's going to continue to run, but now in a little bit of a pickle, and he'll get tagged out at third. So unfortunately, that'll put 2 away. Lewis hit a beautiful shot into left center, had a stand-up double, but made the advancement over to third, and he got tagged out.
Yeah, he saw that throw come into second, and Stefanik had it. He figured, you know what, I'll try to catch him off guard, but unfortunately not the right decision. And some of the guys in the dugout were saying, go 3 as a joke. He took it a little too seriously and not a smart move.
So now 2 away, and Chase Cockrell lays off the low pitch for ball 1. Lewis had a stand-up double, and he also hesitated too, which is something that we've noted from a couple players of perfect times not to go. 1-0, grounded into foul territory for 1-1.
Base running is kind of like a free throw or a wide open three-point shooter if you're a basketball fan. When you hesitate, more often than not, it's going to go in. When you hesitate on the base path, if there's any doubt, you're probably going to be tagged out.
1-1 curveball, drops inside for ball 2.
And it's because it's all about confidence. Even if you get tagged out, when you say, I'm going no matter what, even if you're out, that's still a confident decision you're making. When you second guess yourself and then you follow through, that takes away from your confidence and you get in trouble.
Szczesny's 2-2 tapped back against the screen to bring the count even at 2-2. And you're right, because Lewis really wasn't running with a purpose after second. He kind of held up, as you mentioned, second guessed himself, and as a consequence didn't ride that momentum that carried him through the second base and try to make a play over the third. That would have been the third, or actually the fourth triple in this game, the third in the inning. 2-2 to Cockrell. Runs low. The appeal to first confirms that, and that'll bring the count full at 3-2. Oaks just the second full count situation of the day. Legends have 4, but it doesn't matter as they lead at 5-1 on 9 hits and no errors. Legends jumped out to a 1-0 lead in the first, and the Oaks have responded with 5 unearned. 3-2 is ripped into shallow left center, and Cockrell is on with a 2-out single.
It's almost a free-for-all now. Remember 2 games ago when the Oaks had 23 hits? They had that big 10-run bottom of the second inning. Well, that's not really what's going on here, but reminiscent of parts of that game is quickly striding out to the mound as head coach Jonathan Rodriguez for the Legend. And this is good. The Oaks need this confidence. They need this kind of inning. Yes, they had 2 runs in the fourth. They have 2 runs in the fifth. They're getting extra base hits. They're seeing the field well. And at the end of the day, that's how you win ball games. And they have some very critical ball games coming up. They basically have to win out if they have any shot of making it to the playoffs. And it all starts today, and they're showing it. They're showing the talent they have. They are a playoff talented team, but they haven't showed it the last couple of games. Right here, they're showing it.
We'll take a short break. John Szczesny's day on the mound will be done. We'll provide you more information on the new pitcher coming up. Oaks in cruise control. They lead at 5-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Legends. Charles Carr taking the place of John Szczesny, who went 4 2/3 inning, gave up 8 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. First pitch to Mayu runs low in the ground for ball 1. Actually, Szczesny gave up 10 hits for the Azusa Pacific product, and Charles Carr from Grinnell College in Maryland making his first appearance. Throws the pickoff attempt over to first. That comes late. First time he's played in the 3 games against the Oaks. So Cockrell over at first, 2 away. 1-0 count, and Grant Mayu looking for his 3rd hit. 1-0, misses outside for ball 2. And the Oaks have had a seesaw of a season because they lost to the Legends 4-3 on Tuesday, destroyed the Halos on Sunday 17-1 in the record-setting game for them as the 2-0 pitch runs low for ball 3. Then they lost the Arroyo Seco Saints 8-7 on a crucial last play call. DJ Miller got called out sliding at the home plate tag, so they've just had a little consistency issues. 3-0 runs outside for ball 4. And the Oaks have runners on first and second with DJ Miller stepping in.
Yeah, even though Carr goes to Grinnell, he actually went to Palisades High School, just about 45 minutes northwest of here on the coast. So he has some knowledge playing in the area.
2 away in the bottom of the 5th. DJ Miller steps in, watches the first pitch glide outside for ball 1. Miller's 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. And looking for his second hit of the day. If we get that far, Jordan McFarland's on deck. So the Oaks lead at 5-1 on 10 hits now and no errors, with Grant Mayu over at first and Chase Cockrell at second. In game 3 of the 3-game set, and in a much-needed win for the Oaks. 1-0 pitch. Miller hits that into right center. It's going to drop, hit the wall. Cockrell's going to come around. Mayu is going to sprint around. True. Also, the throw to home plate not going to get there in time. And DJ Miller delivers with a 2 RBI double, and the Oaks lead at 7-1.
Just keep pouring it on. That is the key for the Oaks, and it is working. Both those runs, by the way, actually one of the 2 runs are earned to Cesny, so he ends up with 6 runs under his belt. Only 1 for Carr, but Oaks able to pad that lead now up to 6 here as we get into the latter part of the game.
Oaks rolling. McFarland lays off the upstairs curveball for ball 1. We talked about it. They've eclipsed the 10-hit mark now at 11, which was a big key to their game. They've balanced that with only 2 runners left on base and no errors. 1-0 curveball. McFarland grounds that out of play near the Oaks bullpen for strike 1.
Oh, that was the pitch to hit if you're McFarland. The edge, a curveball as Angus Denton starts warming up for the Oaks. Remember, Denton was the pitcher on the mound who gave the walk-off back in the bottom of the 9th inning 2 days ago against the Legends. You know he wants some redemption.
1-1, runs outside for 2-1. Denton was pitching in the 9th inning against the Legends, gave up that home run to Burr Barrett that gave them the win. So, as you mentioned, absolutely looking for a shot at redemption. Second try around. 2-1, cut on and miss for 2-2.
Farland with 2 beautiful pitches that he could have hit. Curveball he fouled off, and that fastball right down the heart of the plate, but he swung at it a little bit too late. Now has to face a 2-2 count, which means he has to fight off to stay alive.
2-2, runs low to bring the count full at 3-2. McFarland, unbelievable in the month of July. 3rd best batting average on the team, just behind Max Weinstein and Zane Willems, who leads the team with a .462 clip. McFarland at .350. Payoff pitch. McFarland hits that deep into right, and it's going to drop fair at the right part of the wall. Miller's going to come around, and McFarland delivers again with another RBI double, and the Oaks have blown this game up, leading 8-1.
So if I told you that the Oaks would play 8 batters thus far in the inning, and only one of them got a single. Everybody else, with the exception of a sacrifice and an out on extension from a double, everybody else hit extra base hits. That is unbelievable. This team is just finding the no-man land out there, and the only guy without a hit now in today's game, Gonzalez, digs in looking to change that.
Oaks have been seeing the field extremely well as Gonzalez lays off the outside pitch for ball 1. And even Gonzalez hit a sacrifice fly out to right for an RBI. So even he's contributed to the scoring barrage. 5 in this inning for the Oaks. 1-0 pitch tapped back and just bounces above our heads for 2-0. That could have been the 3rd time, Johnny, we might have had a souvenir up here.
Yeah, and that was towards me, and I know I would have caught it. You know, I'm still upset at that error that you made a couple weeks ago when you bobbled the foul ball. So I need to redeem us up on the press box, Jonah, if I get an opportunity this season.
If you don't know that story, a ball bounced above the net, and I just missed the catch as the 1-2 drifts outside for 2-1.
And not only did he miss the catch, he's missing an important detail. The entire Sparky Anderson Field occupancy stood up and watched Jonah bobble that ball.
I don't like to bring attention to myself. I'm a team player.
Okay.
2-1 runs upstairs for 3-1.
Jonah, how long have I known you? I've known you for a long time, and not once have I ever. Actually, no, that's not true. You are a team player, but you do play single-player sport like tennis. You are an unbelievable tennis player because it is a one-man sport. You play golf because it is
I'm not
a
good
one-man
at golf,
sport.
though. That's the
Okay,
difference.
fair.
3-1 just catches the outside corner to bring the count full of 3-2, and Gonzalez tossed his bat, assuming he was going to be walked over to first.
Yeah, Gonzalez thought that was a little bit too far outside, but the home plate umpire said, get back in here. You have a full count to deal with.
McFarland over at second. Oaks lead at 8-1 with 2 away, and Gonzalez with a payoff pitch slaps it into left field for another base hit. McFarland's going to round third. The throw to the plate is not going to get there in time, and Gonzalez delivers an RBI single. Oaks lead at 9-1.
Not only do the Oaks lead at 9-1, every single Oaks player that has stepped up to the plate has gotten at least one hit. This is the first time this entire season that has happened. Even in the 23-hit game 2 days ago, the man standing at the plate right now, Milo Beam, went 0 for 3. All 9 batters in the Oaks lineups have at least one hit. They have 13 on the day, and this is Oaks baseball. They are talented, they are fierce, and they are ready to try to make a run and come back in the CCL Central.
Unbelievable offensive onslaught displayed from the Oaks as the first pitch runs low and in for ball 1. Another scoring avalanche, 6 runs come around, and we're still not out of the 5th inning. 1-0 pitch misses the outside corner for 2-2, and the umpires will call for time. Gonzalez will walk over to second.
They call an interference of some sort.
So replay that pitch, brings it back the count to 1-0. So Gonzalez over at second. And Beam lays off the upstairs pitch. That now brings the count at 2-0. Just an unbelievable offensive display from the Oaks in this game. And with a hit from Beam, they would complete an entire order. 2-0 pitch taken on the inside corner for strike 1.
So Jonah, this is the big debate. Do you consider the Oaks batting around after Beam, or do you consider them batting around when they get to Beam? Because Beam led off this inning, and in my mind, that's batting around when you get to the guy who started off the inning.
I would absolutely give it to him. 2-1 runs inside for ball 3. And especially just with the Oaks riding this offensive wave, you might as well just give it to them at this point because they've earned it. They've been playing extremely well. Look, 13 hits in just 5 innings, 9 runs. They talk about a rebound against the last performance. 3-1, Beam skies that high into right center, and you can wave that one goodbye.
What?
Milo Beam delivers a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 5th, and the Oaks lead it 11-1.
What? Jonah, this is unbelievable. 8 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. Another huge shot out there into right center field, the farthest hit ball that Milo has hit this entire season. And this is an incredible scoring display for the Oaks. I would even say that this is bigger than the 17-1 victory against the Halos just because of the talent that the Legends possess, and the Oaks really just taking it to him.
This is unbelievable, almost an exact replica of the game against the Halos as Oliver takes the first pitch low in the ground for ball 1. Unbelievable. No time to breathe here in the press box. So much offensive prowess being on display. 1-0 runs out and low for ball 2. And with that hit, you can officially say the Oaks have batted an entire round as the 2-0 pitch runs up and in for 3-0. And back to the top of the order we go with Jason Oliver, who hit an RBI triple. Just an unbelievable offensive eruption for the Oaks. 3-0 pitch just misses the top part of the strike zone for ball 4. So Oliver will get walked over the first, and the inning continues for the Oaks, looking to continue to plate more runs.
Number 25, Sam Shakin.
That was just the second walk of the day given up from Carr, but hasn't been able to prevent runners from continuing to score after Cesny's start. And Sam Shakin back up to the plate. First pitch over the heart of the plate for strike one.
I will tell you what, Jonah, the one thing that the Legends have been able to limit is walks. Only 2 on this game. But it's been a long 5th inning. So the 11th batter steps in.
0-1. Drops outside for 1-1. Shakin also has a sacrifice fly out to right for an RBI for himself. So even the Valparaiso Crusader delivering. 1-1, popped into shallow center. And Stefanik will make the catch for out number 3. Finally, the 5th inning ends, but the Oaks play an unbelievable 6 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. They lead it 11-1 as we're through 5 full here at Spark Anderson Field. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break. Top of the 6th we go. Welcome back, everybody. Oaks have blown this game wide open. They lead 11-1 in the top of the 6th. And first pitch from Denton. Garbello hits that into left center. And Oliver will make the catch by the warning tracks for the first out of the inning. The Oaks plated 8 runs in the 5th inning. What once was a 3-1 lead ballooned to 11-1. The Legends looking to slowly chip their way back into this game, but it's a daunting task with just 4 potential innings remaining. Garbella led off now with a fly out into left center, and Michael Stefanik steps in. Denton's first pitch catches the outside corner for strike 1. Denton taking the mound in place of Johnson, deals the 0-1. That's ripped into foul territory for 0-2. Johnson, in 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Denton, the Arkansas Razorback, looking for his first strikeout, deals the 0-2, popped into right field, and Beam will make the catch for a quick 2 outs for the Legends in the top of the 6th.
Right here.
Fly out to center or left center. And now a fly out to right. Puts 2 away. And Trevor Steinman looking to generate some offense for the Legends, who have just plated 1 run on 3 hits. Denton deals the first pitch. Slides outside for 1-0. Steinman's 0 for 1 with a ground out to short, but did draw a walk, just the first of 2 walks. 1-0 pitch, misses the outside corner for 2-0. Denton deals the 2-0, taken on the outside corner for strike one. Once again, Oaks fans, remember a raffle's going on. Have to buy them quick. It ends July 15th. 2-1 slider, just misses the outside or the inside corner for 3-1. You can get an opportunity to win an Albert Pujols autographed bat, a Mike Trout autographed baseball, Cal Cahoon autographed baseball. As the 3-1 pitch clips Diamond in the leg, they'll send him over to first to plate or put a runner for the Legends over at first base. Also, you can win a Mike Scioscia autographed bat, Conejo Oaks merchandise, 225 Visa gift cards, $5 per ticket, or 20 for 5 tickets. The winner does not need to be present. If you'd like to tweet at us to save you one, do it quickly. The raffle ends July 15th. You can tweet at me. I'm at Jonah_Malkin, and he's at Johnny Riff with 1F. First pitch, grounded to short. Mai will make the play to second for out number 3. So the Legends plate no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Oaks lead it 11-1 heading into the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jonah Malkin. Alongside me is Jonathan Rifkin. Brandon Lewis steps in, lays off the first pitch on the outside for strike one. Jason McLennan, the new pitcher on the mound for the Legends, taking the spot of Charles Carr. We'll give you the stats on him in just a moment. 0-1 curveball, just misses top of the inside corner for 1-1. Carr had a rough day on the mound in 1/3 inning. Gave up 4 hits, 5 runs, all of which were earned, and 2 walks. 1-1, Lewis pops that into shallow left, and he's on with a leadoff base hit.
Lewis has really stepped up his play in the month of July. The Oaks have been under 500. He himself has just been unbelievable. You talked about coming into this game for Lewis. He was batting only in this month he was only batting 250, but the last 2 games alone, he's really been pulling out all the stops and helping the Oaks stifle some of these defensive pitchers.
And the Oaks as a team batted around 300 in June, but have dipped to 272 as a team in July. Cockrell swings on the first curveball for strike one. Cockrell's 2 for 3. Came around to score twice. Also has a strikeout. Lewis led things off with a base hit. He's over at first. 0-1 curveball. just misses inside for ball one. Cockrell, the Ole Miss Rebel, bouncing back after a disappointing performance a couple days ago. Went 0 for 2 when they lost 4-3 with 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. 1-1 right over the heart of the plate for strike 2. 1-2 the count. Oaks lead it 11-1 on 15 hits and no runs, and the Legends have 1 run on 3 hits and no errors for themselves. Glennon comes set, deals the 1-2, drifts outside for 2-2. McLennan entering his senior year at Concordia University in Irvine from Huntington Beach, California. The Oaks went to Concordia University to play against the Orange County Riptide in the early parts of June. 2-2, tapped back against the screen, and we'll do it again. Grant Mayu on deck, DJ Miller in the hole for the Oaks. And we talked about the Legends actually jumped out to the 1-0 start. Oaks tied it in the bottom of the second, played it 2 more in the fourth, and then exploded for 8 in the fifth. 2-2, catches the outside corner for strike 3. Cockrell goes down looking, and that's the first strikeout on the day for McLennan.
Nice pitch there after giving up the single. Able to settle in a little bit and go straight at Cockrell. That's what these Legend pitchers need to do. Yeah, you're down by 10, but don't be timid on the mound. What do you have to lose? Just go straight at these pitchers. Help you pad your stats a little bit, or go at these batters, I should say.
Curveball to Mayu, drops just in the bottom part of the strike zone for strike 1. Mayu's 2 for 2, but has advanced to base, to first at least, all 3 times. 0-1 curveball, catches the inside corner for 0-2, and he's actually come around to score all 3 times he's been up. Led off with a single in the second, hit a triple in the fourth, and then drew a walk in the fifth, but looking for more in the sixth. 0-2 pitch, runs in the ground for 1-2. He's also had a nice bounce back performance after going 1 for 4 in that 4-3 loss. And now 2 for 2. Glennon comes set, deals the 1-2 fastball that just misses outside and low to bring the count even at 2-2. McLennan also making his first appearance against the Oaks in this series, but has been handed a tough deck of cards, but able to catch the outside corner for strike 3. That gives him back-to-back strikeouts, and he has 2 on the day.
Just like I was saying, Jonah, don't be timid. Be happy to, don't be happy, but go straight at these Oaks batters, because why not? You're down by 10. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Zane Williams coming into pinch hit for DJ Miller. Now it's an opportunity for you to pad your stats, and that's ultimately what you want, especially Concordia moving into Division II. Why not? McLennan going straight at these Oaks batters, and he's doing a good job with those 2 strikeouts.
Utilize that curveball as well as the fastball to absolute perfection. And now Zane Williams will step in place of DJ Miller, who was 2 for 3. And Williams hits that into right field for a base hit. He'll advance Lewis over to second. And Williams is on in his first try.
And that is the same exact hit that we saw Williams had back in the Tuesday game when these 2 teams played. Williams came in as a pinch hitter in the top of the 9th with with Milo Beam, at second base, and was able to single him in to tie up the game. That was the same exact spot. Unfortunately, though, the Oaks ended up losing that game.
McFarland having a resurgence in this game, 2 RBIs, and just coming off an RBI double, steps in, takes the first pitch low on the ground for ball 1. The Arkansas Razorback, as we mentioned, has been impressive. .435 on-base percentage in the month of July. And Williams, who came to pinch hit, is second on the team in the month of July with a .452 on-base percentage. McFarland pops the 1-0 into left center, and it's going to drop against the wall. Lewis is going to come home Willems is going to be held up at third, but McFarland delivers again with an RBI double, and the Oaks lead it 12-1.
Oh, McFarland feeling it today. And that's a big hit for his confidence. Yeah, the Oaks don't need to pad the lead really anymore. Up by 11 now, but why not? He has had, like you said, Jonah, a resurgence in today's game. This is about confidence. Summer League Baseball is about helping players build confidence and hone skills of their game. McFarland batted .271 in 28 games with the University of Arkansas this past year. And he's been struggling up until this point, but today with 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, it's hard to complain when you're seeing the field a lot better in today's game.
Not to mention, he leads the team with strikeouts. He's been struck out 20 times on the season, but has bounced back, has 3 consecutive RBIs in 3 consecutive innings as Gonzalez swings and misses for strike 1. So just a nice bounce-back performance from really the entire Oaks team when you factor in the fact that they lost 4-3. But runners still at scoring position at second and third. McFarland at second, Zane Willems at third, and the second of 3 catchers, Juan Gonzalez, swings for 0-2. Tried to hold back his swing at the last second, but couldn't hold it, and he's down in the count 0-2. So 2 away for the Oaks in the bottom of the 6th. They've plated 12 runs on 17 hits. They hit 23 against the Halos last week. Closing in on that number again. 0-2 gets past the glove of Barham for 1-2. Gonzalez is 1 for 2, but he has 2 RBIs as well. 1 from a sacrifice fly out to right, and then hit an RBI single in the 5th. Looking for RBI number 3. McLennan deals the 1-2. Gonzalez grounds that to second, and Stefanik will make the play to first for out number 3. But the Oaks plate 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 on base. They lead it 12-1 as we head into the top of the 7th. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a short break. Welcome back to Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks lead it 12-1 heading into the top of the 7th. I'm Jonah Malkin. And for the rest of play-by-play, my broadcasting partner, Jonathan Rifkin.
Thank you, Jonah. Phenomenal job as always behind the microphone. It's always a pleasure to work with you. Jake Scott will lead things off here. New pitcher on the mound taking the place of Angus Denton is Jacob Flores. As the first pitch he deals is hit into right field for a one-pitch leadoff single. Jake Scott now on the day, 2 for 3. He has half of the Legends hits, 12-1 on our score. They only have 4 on the day, but Scott made a good one up. Denton won 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no errors. Or no strikeouts, excuse me, no earned runs. Jacob Flores just graduated Rio Mesa, headed to the University of Southern California in the fall to play some baseball with our statistician Keith Schneider. He's the team manager there. Zach Chan from the University of Hawaii digs in and takes a curveball upstairs. Actually, it's called a strike. I guess Gonzalez placed that a little bit lower than it actually came in. By the way, new second baseman in the game for the Oaks, Riley Jones from Sonoma State. Sam Shaken moves to shortstop, and Grant Mayu's taken out of the game. The 0-1. A slider on the outside corner for strike number 2.
Nasty slider from Flores, just clips the outside corner. He loves utilizing that outside slider, especially on right-handed batters, because it catches them swinging away.
Pickoff attempt, but Scott gets back easily. Griffin Keller on deck, Robert Barham in the hole, 12 runs, 17 hits. No errors for the Oaks. This sparks the second largest hit total for the Oaks thus far in the season. They had the Halos up in 23 hits, as though 2 runs up and away for ball 1. Back on Sunday in that 17-1 win. And this is the Oaks offense that we were accustomed to earlier in the season. They had the best month in the CCL Central, record-wise in the month of June, 1-2 runs away for ball 2. But in July, they're under 500, and it's really hurting them. The month of June, they were 16-7, now 3-6 in the month of July, and the playoff hopes are somewhat dwindling. 2-2, a curveball taken, 4 strike 3 at the knees. Chan knew it immediately. He started walking away to the bench. Strikeout number 1 on the day for Flores, 5th on the day for the Oaks collectively. And that'll put one out up on the board. Griffin Keller from Santa Clara steps in now. 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout looking and a ground out. Flores on the mound and is the third Oaks pitcher of the day, as the first pitch dealt in low and inside for ball 1. Kenny Johnson got the start, went 5 innings, gave 3 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Angus Denton followed him with 1 inning, no runs, no hits, no walks, no strikeouts, and now Jacob Flores looking to down the Legends. 1-0, runner goes, it's up, ball, the throw is not in time as it gets over the glove of Jones. Advancing from second to third on the mishandle is Scott. So he'll have a stolen base over to second. And we'll see if they give it an error. They probably will. Nope, they're just going to, yeah, they will. They'll give an error to Gonzalez behind the dish. So call it an E2. The first error on the day for the Oaks. And now there's a runner 90 feet away at third base. 2-0 the count, 1 away here. And Griffin Keller, all he has to do is put a ball in play, and he'll likely get that run in from third base. Flores, the southpaw, playing under head coach David Solis. The 2-0 is a slow grounder towards the mound. Flores checks the runner back to third, fires it over to Cockrell at first, and that is the best case scenario for the Oaks. A slow roller back to the mound, keeps that runner at third base. And now there's 2 away for Robert Barham, also 0 for 2 on the day with a pop out and a strikeout.
Nice play from Flores, because the first thing you do is you prevent Scott from making any attempt to come home from third, and at the same time you make the play to first for 2 outs, and now you can solely focus on Robbie Barham for the third out of the top of the 7th.
First pitch upstairs for ball 1. Barham from Long Beach City College. Going into his second year. LBCC, one of the better community colleges for baseball. A lot of their products head to Long Beach State as the 1-0 takes the outside corner for strike number 1. Long Beach State, one of the baseball powerhouses in the United States. Lost to Cal State Fullerton in the Super Regional this past year. Runner on third, 2 away, 1-1 count. Flores deals way outside for ball number 2. Lay of DeLand for you here for the Oaks. Milo Beeman to right, Jason Oliver in center, Jordan McFarland in left. Chase Cockrell at first, Riley Jones at second. Sam Shaken at short, Brandon Lewis at third behind the dish. Juan Gonzalez and Jacob Flores deals the 2-1 from the mountain. Swung and a missed for strike number 2, and that'll even the count. A changeup that had Barham swing way out in front of it. The Oaks will be at home tomorrow at 5 o'clock to play the Orange County Surf. And there is broadcasting logistics I need to communicate to you as the 2-2 is fouled off the helmet of Gonzalez. So, as always, I'll start off the game, the first 2 innings. Jonah will take innings 3 and 4. And Jonah and I have called every game this season, so we figured we'd take a break in the middle innings. For innings 5 and 6, Oak Star reliever and closer Robbie Medell will take the play-by-play duties as the 2-2 is a curveball, waved foul. We'll do it again at 2-2. In the 5th and 6th innings, like I said, Robbie Medell, the Oak Star closer, will take the helm as play-by-play man. He is a broadcast major at the University of Arizona. He does have a number of innings with the Oaks this season, and he actually does a very good job. We'll definitely want your feedback on that, and we're going to give our statistician Keith Schneider the opportunity to be on with him as our color guy, as the 2-2 is a curveball upstairs for ball 3. Keith has been asking for an opportunity to get behind the mic, and Jonah and I, out of the goodness of our hearts, are going to give it to him. So Jonah and I will be off for the 5th and 6th innings tomorrow. Jonah will be on for the 7th and 8th, and I'll be on for the 9th. Payoff pitch here from Flores, waved at a miss for strike 3, and we'll send it to break here at the end of the top of the 7th. No runs, a hit, no, 1 error and 1 left on base. It's the 7th inning of stretch. We're going to head it over for Sweet Caroline. Enjoy an ice cold beverage and maybe a hot dog, a hamburger, a culinary piece of your choice, and enjoy the 7th inning stretch. Hope you enjoyed a little Sweet Caroline here at Cal Lutheran University. Welcome back above the press box, everybody. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. Bottom of the 7th, Oaks up 12-1, and Milo Beam in the bottom of the order will step in 2 for 3. So he rips the first pitch he sees in the shallow left field. Scott running in, and he makes the diving grab for out number 1. Robs Milo Beam of a base hit. If he had gotten that single, he would have been a double away from the cycle, but instead there's a 1 out up on the board here. Still 12-1 our score, and to the top of the order for Jason Oliver.
Nice play from Scott, able to make a dive on it. And as you mentioned, not only prevent a run, but prevent a threat of a run. Beam is so fast that if he would have stayed on base, any base hit could send him home.
Oliver steps in, takes the first pitch high for ball 1. 1 for 2 on the day with a hit by a pitch, a walk, ground out, and an RBI triple. Thereafter scoring for Oliver. Another successful day for Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunner. The 1-0 up and away for ball number 2. McLennan still on the mound here for the Legends in his second inning of work. He will be the last pitcher they throw. They are shorthanded and down by 11. The 2-0 taken low for ball number 3, and quickly now behind in the count is McLennan, 3-0. Oliver looking to get on base for his 4th time today. This would be the second walk he's drawn, but he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. The 3-0 taken on the outside corner, a 78-mile-an-hour fastball for strike number 1.
Nice pitch from McLennan on the outside corner, and Oliver was wise to lay off it. Oaks have a terrible record swinging on 3-0 counts.
3-1. Fouled back against the screen. And that will bring the count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 7th inning, 12 runs, 17 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for the Legends. Oliver digs back in. The payoff pitch. A 2-hopper to third. Channeled, fielded quickly. The transfer, but not in time, as Oliver will beat it out for an infield single. Those slow rollers, though they look nice, can be deadly if you're a speedy base runner, and Oliver displayed the speed right there. 1 away, 1 on now, and Sam Shaken. 2 for 3 on the day with a sacrifice, an RBI, 2 hits, and a pop-out will step in. By the way, Jake Sylvester from CSUN warming up in the Oaks pen, and Cody Santana will probably pinch hit waiting on deck in place of Brandon Lewis. Shaken digs in. The first pitch he sees is low for ball 1. And Oliver with some speed over at first. We'll see if they send him, but I wouldn't think so because the Oaks are up by 11, 12-1 the score. But again, this is summer ball, which means these players are trying to win a spot or keep a spot if they already have one at their respective colleges come baseball season. So why not get a steal? 1-0 is ripped in the shallow left field, and that's going to get down for a single. Oliver advances to second on the play, and Shaken is now 3 for 4 on the day. 2 singles, a double, and a sacrifice to right, leading to a run under his belt. That'll bring up Cody Santana from Hawaii Pacific. Brandon Lewis's day is done, 2 for 4. Hit into 2 double plays, a 5-4-3, and a fly out to center, and then a transfer over to second. Had a double and a single, eventually scoring back in the 6th.
No Weinstein, no problem. Sam Shaken has done a fantastic job. 3 for 3 now, along with a sacrifice fly for an RBI. He's been phenomenal in place of Weinstein in this game.
Oaks now with 19 hits on the day. It's been an uncanny day for them. The Hawaii Pacific superstar digs in. The first pitch waved up and out of play for strike number 1. An All-American as well as valedictorian at a 4.0 this past year, and I know the Santana family very happy. His dad Al, assistant baseball coach at St. Bonaventure High School. Phenomenal family. Probably our biggest fans, Jonah. I know, Nellie Beam, that you probably are our biggest fan on the broadcast, but the Santanas here at the stands always do a good job communicating with us and having a good time. They even bought us ice cream once. 0-1. A shot out to right. Garbella runs back to the wall, and that one is off the wall. Rounding third and coming home is Oliver. The throw comes in, and it will not be in time. An RBI double for Cody Santana. That was about a foot under the yellow line. That could have been a home run with a little bit more carry. But nonetheless, the Oaks take a 13-1 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
And you can be sure that Santana was hoping that he hit that just a foot higher, that could have gone over the right part of the wall. But nonetheless, Santana says, hey, I want to join this party too. I see everyone else getting hits. Why not myself?
Every Oaks batter, including the 2 pinch hitters, Zane Willems and Cody Santana, have gotten hits. Chase Cockrell slaps the first pitch he sees in a center field, but Gamble will come under, make the catch. Both runners will tag, scoring Shaken and Santana over to third. The Oaks now take a 14-1 lead on the sacrifice fly out to center. Cockrell on the day before that was 2 for 4. His stat line remains that, but he has an RBI now. And seriously, folks, as Riley Jones steps in for his first at-bat, took the field last time in place of Grant Mayu. Joe and I do want to extend a big thank you to everybody who watches day in and day out the Oaks broadcast. Joe and I are aspiring broadcasters. He's at the University of Wisconsin. I'm at the University of Oregon. And any kind of feedback we can get, we really appreciate, as the first pitch of Jones is taken over the heart of the plate for strike 1. And even if we don't get feedback, just knowing that we have people watching and listening and taking into account what we say means a lot, and we definitely want to extend a big thank you to everybody who's watched and has communicated with us. 0-1, foul tipped back into the glove of Barn for strike number 2. So this is a big deal for us. This is my second season with the Oaks. This is Jonah's first, but every day is valuable for us, and every view we get, we really appreciate. And even if we don't do a good job in your eyes, we still appreciate the criticism. 0-2 runs outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. So again, a big thank you. We really enjoy doing it. We hope that you enjoy watching it, and the product that we put forth is as high quality as we can get. 1-2 to Jones in the dirt, 2-2 the count. So again, just a big thank you, from both of us. By the way, Grant Mayu's day is done. They ended up going 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored, a walk, an RBI triple, a single, and a strikeout. Jones from Sonoma State. His brother, Kyle Jones, the first base coach for the Oaks, slaps the 2-2 deep in the left field, but Scott will run over and make the grab for out number 3. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. We're through 7 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks lead at 14-1. You're watching Oaks baseball on KDTV, simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back.
Grant Gamble.
9-1 and 2 hitters due up here in the top of the 8th inning. Welcome back, everybody. Jonah Malkin, Jonathan Rifkin, Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Oaks up 14-1 as Jake Sylvester out of Iowa Western Community College in CSUN digs in. Grant Gamble 0 for 1 on the day with a walk. Slaps the first pitch he sees back behind the press box for strike number 1. Sylvester comes in for Jacob Flores, who went 1 inning, gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout under his belt. Sylvester from Kansas City, played 2 years at Iowa Western Community College, where he actually 2 strikeouts under Flores' belt. That was a good correction there, as the 0-1 is waved and a miss for strike number 2. Going back to what I was saying, Jake Sylvester from Kansas City played 2 years at Iowa Junior College, or Iowa Western Junior College, where he actually won a championship. Iowa Western known for its award-winning baseball program. Deals the 0-2. Waved in the right field. Running in on it is Beam, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. By the way, taking over at first base in place of Chase Cockrell is Cody Santana. Cockrell moves from first to third, and Brandon Lewis takes the bench. That's the only change in the field for you. The rest still the same. 1 away here for Giovanni Garbella. Nope, it's a pinch hitter. It's Luke Devaney coming in at the top of the order. Sporting the number 4 on his back from Eastern Michigan. He was a pinch hitter on Tuesday as well. So 1 away for Devaney. He'll likely be taking over in right field in the bottom half of the inning. Sylvester takes his time and deals the first pitch away for ball 1. Sylvester, in his 2nd year with the Oaks, has been on an inning limit, just working his way back, getting his confidence up. He's also taking summer school classes at CSUN. He is looking to transfer. As the 1-0 is popped into the infield, shaken in shallow right center, or left center, I should say, will make the catch for out number 2. He pitched at CSUN only in a couple of innings and decided that he wanted to transfer. And he's looking for a new home in the fall. He's possibly looking at Cal State LA, maybe even UCSD, which is part of the reason why he's taking these summer school classes, because you could be a phenomenal ball player, but if you want to go to UC, you have to have a high GPA to transfer in. And so that is a possibility for the phenomenal young pitcher as well. 2 away, Michael Stefanik digs in. 1 for 3 on the day with a single as he waves and misses for strike number 1. That's actually another pinch hitter. Again, as we get later in these games, it's not always communicated to us pinch hitters and whatnot. It's Harrison Smith from Oral Roberts. He actually got the start when these 2 teams played back on Tuesday. Was in the 8th spot. He went 1 for 3 with a walk, a double, a strikeout, and a ground out. Oral Roberts Golden Eagle in Oklahoma digs back in. And Sylvester deals the 0-1. Waved that and missed for strike number 2.
Sylvester's throwing a lot better since his last outing. Remember, he gave up 4 runs against the Puff Caps in 1 inning and has really bounced back. He's nice command over his pitches.
Pearson fires, though, 2. Tapped foul back against the screen, and we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He actually did have an appearance after that against the Puff Caps, back on the 7-6 loss against the Saints. He went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. But his command is looking a lot better. He has that confidence. He's put on a lot of muscle. 0-2 is slapped into left field. Running back on it is McFarland, and he loses it in the light as that ball will drop, and that will be a 2-out double for Harrison Smith as the pinch hitter in today's game.
Nice hit from Smith. And for the Legends, it's all about trying to build momentum moving forward, trying to make a late push in this game. We'll see if it ultimately can translate to a win. It is a steep mountain to climb, but might as well try with 2 outs.
Runner on second, 14-1 our score. Oaks up 14 runs, 20 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Legends. Trevor Steinman steps in and pops the first pitch he sees in the right field. Milo Beam will get under it for out number 3. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We're through 7.5 here from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks lead it 14-1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Simulcasted onto YouTube. We'll be right back. Billy Bob Willems, or as you know him as Zane Willems, his teammates call him Billy Bob, will step in his second at-bat. New pitcher on the mound Christian Viramontes from Sonoma State, the lefty, deals the first pitch, popped out of play for strike one. 14-1 our score here in the bottom of the 8th. Oaks lead it in a thrashing of the Legends, really making up for that 4-3 loss 2 days ago when they got walked off in the bottom of the 9th inning. Couple of changes in the field I'll give to you here in just a moment for the Legends as the 0-1-2 Willems is in the dirt for ball 1-1 the count. Harrison Smith takes over for Michael Stefanik at second base. And out in right field is Luke DeVenny for Giovanni Garbella. Those are only changes in the field for Coach Gutierrez's squad. The 1-1 comes in. Low for ball number 2. Willems came in to pinch hit back in the 6th inning for DJ Miller. Got a single stranded on third thereafter. Headed to Texas Tech in the fall from Alvin Community College as time is called. Played 2 years at Alvin Community College. Had to take a break in between his first and second year because he had Tommy John. He was recruited as a pitcher and as a catcher. Now only catches duty as Tommy John, but a phenomenal young player. 2-1, up and in for ball number 3. On deck, Jordan McFarland in the hole. Juan Gonzalez. Oaks have 20 hits in today's game. Their second largest clip of the season. They had 23 back on Sunday against the Halos. 3-1, runs way inside. And Willems will just stride over to first base. And the Oaks have a leadoff batter on once again here for Jordan McFarland, who has had a phenomenal day, as it looks like Jacob Castro is going to run out to first base as a pinch runner for Willems. Oaks utilizing their entire bench. Castro now the third Oaks catcher to see time. He's the third of 3 Oaks catchers. Gonzalez and Willems the other ones.
Number 22, Jacob Castro.
Castro headed to UC Irvine in the fall by way of Rio Mesa, where he just graduated. McFarland takes the first pitch low and inside for ball 1. On the day for McFarland, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs, 2 doubles, a strikeout and a ground out. He has had quite the breakout game and a day that he's needed. Great young talent, just had a little bit of a struggle this season. 1-0 in the dirt once again, 2 balls, no strikes. 14 runs, 20 hits, 1 error for the Oaks, 1 run on 5 hits, no errors for the Legend. The Oaks will be back home tomorrow against the Orange County Surf, an interleague game here at 5 o'clock. Then on Saturday against Team Victory at 5, wrap up the week on Sunday in Ventura at 5 o'clock. The 2-0 in the dirt, and we are at 3 balls and no strikes now to Jordan McFarland from the University of Arkansas.
And especially with this, the Oaks, after this game, will only have 8 more games remaining in the CCL, and if they're going to make any attempt at catching the Foresters or teams from the north like the Healdsburg Prune Packers and the Neptune Beach Pearl, they're going to need McFarland to be playing at his best.
The way the playoffs work, and even with expansion, it's still only a 4-team playoff as play resumes. The lefty appears the runner at first and deals the 3-0. McFarland pops it up, but out of play for strike number 1, 3-1 the count. The top team from all 3 divisions automatically comes in and into the playoffs, and then there is a wild card slot for the next team with the best record, but the Packers and the Pearl up in the Northern Division have the top 2 records in the CCL. 3-1 upstairs for ball 4, and McFarland will take his base. 2 consecutive walks now for the Oaks. They have runners on first and second with nobody away for Juan Gonzalez.
Nice patience once again displayed from McFarland. And 2 consecutive walks brings another Oaks player in scoring position.
Castro at second. McFarland at first. First pitch runs behind Barham, and he'll scurry over as runners will stay put. That would have been a wild pitch, but nonetheless, the Oaks keep their runners at bay. 14-1 our score, bottom of the 8th. It's also cooled down significantly here, now in the mid-70s. A absolutely gorgeous night from Sparky Anderson Field. 1-0, popped high in the sky into shallow right center. Smith will call for it out of second base and make the grab for out number 1. Just a beautiful sight here, probably the nicest night that we've had since the beginning of the season when the weather was more mild. The golden hue coming off the field and in the background off the green of the trees due to the setting sun behind us. A little bit of an overcast, but the orange tint from the setting sun will soon overtake that overcast and create an array of colors above us in the sky, almost like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Wow. Well, look who else. The residential home just opened up for Johnny, too.
The first pitch in the beam is upstairs for ball one. Yeah, Jonah is our normal colloquial philosopher in residence, but I have some tricks up my sleeve as well, some sayings. I passed AP English in high school. Syntactic language. The 1-0 in. Runs on the outside corner for strike number one. Beam on the day, 2 for 4 with a 2-run home run, a triple, a flyout, and a strikeout under his belt. Runners on first and second, 1 away. And the 1-1 to Beam is a curveball taken for strike number 2.
Well, you know how the saying goes from the movie Rambo, in order to survive a war, you must become a war, and the Oaks have definitely had their fair share of brutal losses, but now returning the favor in an incredible fashion.
Who's paying you to say that? 1-2 off the right foot of Beam, out of play, and we'll do it again.
I'll give my uncle a shout out. He kind of
Exposed me
to that Rambo, and I thought, wow, this might apply.
I feel like if we were going to make movie references, this is the game of baseball, and baseball has more movie references than almost any. Maybe boxing has a little bit more, but I mean, you have Field of Dreams, you have Moneyball, amongst others, the most iconic ones. The 1-2 into Beam, runs low and away for ball number 2. But yeah, I guess that's applicable.
And then in boxing, Rocky, obviously.
Right. So I still think baseball, in terms of iconic sayings, baseball definitely takes the cake, but you did a good job working Rambo in organically, I guess. Beam digs back in. The 2-2 is upstairs for ball number 3. Barham tried bringing it down, but the umpire caught it into the glove, and now a full count here for Beam. Viramontes checks the runner at first. 1 away, bases occupied at first and second, and he deals the payoff pitch. Low and away for ball 4. That'll walk the bases loaded now as we go back to the top of the order for Jason Oliver. On the day for Oliver, 1 for 2 with 2 walks, 2 run scores, a hit by a pitch, and a ground out, as well as an RBI triple back in the 5th inning. And he has bases loaded, an opportunity to add on to his total. Jacob Castro at third, Jordan McFarland at second, and Milo Beam at first. 3 walks on the day for Viramontes as the first pitch to Oliver is cracked back against the screen for strike number 1.
And Oliver's gone on base consecutively in the 7th and the 5th, the last 2 times he's come up to bat. So he's looking for his 3rd consecutive base appearance.
0-1. Low and inside for ball number 1. He led the Oaks in strikeouts back in the early part of the season, but has really shown the patience starting in the middle of June, and it's paid off. 1-1 to the road runner, slapped in the shallow left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Castro comes in to score, and the Oaks take a 15-1 lead here with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Jason Oliver gets his 2nd RBI on the day. And Sam Shaken, who's also having an incredible day, will have an opportunity to increase that incredible day with the bases loaded. By the way, Oliver did break the handle off his bat on that hit.
Nice hit from Oliver into left field, and right away just shattered that bat, but didn't alter the placement of that ball or where it dropped.
Sam Shaken digs in now. Phenomenal day, 3 for 4 as he takes a first pitch low for ball 1, a single in the first, a double in the 3rd, a sacrifice fly for an RBI in the 5th, and a pop out in the 5th, and a double in the 7th. Played his high school ball at Chatsworth, 1-0, swung and a miss for strike number 1, 1-1 the count. Goes to Valparaiso, where he led the Crusaders in batting this past season with .325 mark, and has been a reliable Oaks batter as of late in the season. Viramontes digs and deals the 1-1 way upstairs for ball number 2. 15 runs, 20 hits, and 1 error for the Oaks. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Legends. Bases all occupied, 1 around in the inning, and 1 away. Viramontes deals the 2-1 at the knees for strike number 2.
Beautiful pitch from Viramontes on the inside corner. Would have forced Shaken in a jam, potentially a ground out in the infield that could have led to a double play.
Shaken showing the patience. The 2-2 from Viramontes is whipped into center field, and that is going to be caught by Gamble. McFarland will stay put at third base, and now there are two away for Cody Santana.
Nice play from Gamble to get rid of the ball quickly into the infield to prevent McFarland from coming around. He thought about tagging from third and coming home, but wisely stayed put.
Santana digs in 1-for-1 on the day with an RBI double, swings and misses on the first pitch for strike number 1. I'd assume the Oaks will hold on to win this game up 14 right now. If they do, they'll still be in second place in the CCL Central. Still 4.5 games back of the Foresters. As Jonah mentioned, only 8 CCL games left to play. 0-1 upstairs for ball number 1. Oliver at first, Beam at second, McFarland at third. 1 around in the inning. 2 away. Bottom of the 8th. Oaks have scored in every inning except for the first and third. Only 1 run for the Legend. That was back at the top of the first inning, the 1-1. Taken at the knees for strike number 2. Oaks were stifled in the bottom of the first after the Legend put up 1 run in the first. Oaks responded with 1 run in the second, 2 runs in the fourth, 8 runs in the fifth, 1 run in the sixth, 2 runs in the seventh, and 1 run here in the 8th. More pending, though, if a ball can be put in play. The 1-2 to Santana. Low and away for ball number 2. That evens count at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Close pitch from Viramontes. Santana just managed to lay off. He was looking at it all the way through, and it just missed the outside corner for him to stay alive in the count.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Viramontes digs in and deals the 2-2 up and inside for ball number 3, and another full count here. Number 7 on the day here for the Oaks, showing the patience. Lefty on lefty matchup, a matchup that Santana has been struggling with a little bit this season, but a very productive hitter for the Oaks, and always a smile on his face. Payoff pitch, runs upstairs, that's going to walk in a run. Keep the bases loaded as McFarland crosses home plate. The Oaks take a 16-1 lead now with 2 away, and the big bat of Chase Cockrell stepping in.
Once again, patience in the batter's box paying dividends for the Oaks.
That's the 4th walk of the inning for Viramontes. Giving up 1 hit, 2 runs, both earned. And Cockrell digging in now on the day, 2 for 4 with 2 strikeouts, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI on a sacrifice fly to center. Big batter from Ole Miss digs in and takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Viramontes is the 4th pitcher on the day for Coach Gutierrez's squad. John Chesney started off things, going 4 2/3. Charles Carl followed him up with a 1/3 inning. 1-0 pitch, cracked back foul for strike number 1. John McLennan went 2 innings, and now Christian Viramontes trying to do some damage control, but not doing a very good job, per se, just because he's walked 4 batters and given up 2 runs. 1-1 to Cockrell is cracked sky high, but out of play, and that'll bring the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. One, 2 into Cockrell is popped back against the screen. And that'll keep the count of 1 ball, 2 strikes. Feel free to tweet at us in the latter part of this game at Caneo_Oaks. He's at Jonah_Malkin. I'm at Johnny Riff on Twitter. And for a game that has shown 17 total runs, the Oaks up 16-1. It's gone fairly quickly, 2 hours and 31 minutes thus far. Viramontes kicks and fires the 1-2. Cockrell lays off, up and away for ball number 2. Viramontes deals the 2-2, cracked in the left center field, and that's going to drop. Beam scores. Following him is Oliver. And another 2 RBI single for Chase Cockrell gives the Oaks their biggest lead of the season, 18-1. here at Sparky Anderson Field. This is the biggest Oaks lead in the last 2 years. They won 17-1 on Sunday. Before that, they won 19-4 about a year ago against the SoCal Catch. And now it looks like we're going to see a new pitcher coming in, and he didn't even warm up, so we're going to take a break. Bases occupied at first and second, 4 runs around in the inning. The Oaks lead at 18-1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. Will the onslaught continue? I don't know. With 2 outs on the board, Riley Jones waiting on deck. We'll be right back. Two away, 4 round in the inning. 18-1 our score. Oaks up over the Legend. New pitcher on the mound is Griffin Keller from Santa Clara. He comes in out of the DH spot as Riley Jones steps in and takes the first pitch high for ball 1. That ends the day for Christian Viramontes. 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 4 walks, no strikeouts. Runners on first and second. The 1-0 popped up into shallow right field. Actually, on the infield, I should say, is Sigam. Out of first, will make the catch for out number 3. And finally, 9 batters in. The Oaks are out of the 8th inning. 4 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're through 8 full here from Sparky Anderson Field. Oaks trying to end it in the top of the 9th, up 18-1. You're watching Oaks Baseball on KDTV. We'll be right back. Back here in the top of the 9th, a whole slew of pinch hitters you're about to see up here for the Legends, down 18-1 as Jake Sylvester is still on the mound for the Oaks. Danny Zimmerman comes in from Michigan. Got the start a couple days ago, headed to his freshman year by way of Redondo Beach, California. First pitch in from Sylvester is inside for ball 1. That ends the day in the cleanup spot for Jake Sagan. 0 for 3, hit into a double play his first time up as the 1-0 is cracked back against the screen, 1-1 the count. Also a ground out in the 4th and a fly out in the 6th. For Zimmerman in the 6th spot, 2 days ago, went 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, a single and a walk. Scoring the number 40, pops the 1-1 out of play for strike number 2. 18 runs, 22 hits, 1 error for the Oaks. 1 run, 5 hits, no errors for the Legends. This is the largest lead the Oaks have had in the last 2 years. They won 17-1 on Sunday. And they won 19-4 last year, the second to last game of the season against the SoCal Catch back here at Sparky Anderson. 1-2, wave towards third, but foul, and we'll do it again. If the Oaks hold on to this win, which will be a 17-run win, this will be their biggest win in the last 4 years in terms of run-wise, or run deficit, I should say, by way of the Legends. And that's a big deal. 2 of the last 3 games, the Oaks have smoked the teams they played. 1-2, runs on the outside corner, called strike 3. Down goes Zimmerman. And there's one away here, the first strikeout on the day for Sylvester.
And you can be sure that when the SoCal Catch come to Sparky Anderson, they'll want to return the favor as well, as the Catch were the other team, along with the Legends, to hit a walk-off home run to beat them.
Yeah, last year, the second last game of the season, the Oaks, in the 8th inning, were up 9-4, and they called the game due to darkness as Jake Scott steps in. Sylvester peers and fires the first pitch inside for ball 1. Waiting on deck is another pinch hitter, Richie O'Reilly. He's undecided where he's going to go in the fall, from Anaheim, California. Scott on the day, 2 for 3. 2 singles and a strikeout. He has 2 of the 5 hits, waves and misses at the 1-0 for strike number 1, 1-1 the count. Yeah, so last year the Oaks won 19-4 against the Catch. Back on Sunday, they won 17-1 against the Halos, now up 18-1. Which will top the biggest win in the CCL this season, which they actually had claim to back on Sunday. 1-1 pops sky high towards first base. Short second base, where Jones will make the catch for out number 2. Quickly 2 away now, and that will bring up Richie O'Reilly. Catcher from Anaheim. Last breath here in the top of the 9th. Oaks looking to go home happy, up 18-1.
Richie O'Reilly.
That ends Zach Chan's day, 0 for 3 on the day with a flyout, a strikeout, and a groundout. Sylvester peers and fires the first pitch. A 1-hopper to third, but that's going to go foul. And a nice grab, barehanded by Jonathan Rodriguez, the third base coach. He snagged it on the second hop and got a much-deserved round of applause by the Oaks bench. He actually tipped his cap to them thereafter, so some good sportsmanship between the two sides. Waiting on deck is Griffin Keller if we get that far. 2 away. 0-1 the count. Sylvester takes a breath and deals the 0-1. Check swing that gets out of play for strike number 2, and now the Oaks are 1 strike away from winning today's game, 18-1.
On that play, O'Reilly kind of just stuck out his bat on a check swing, half-hearted swing, and just watched it tail on into foul territory.
Sylvester deals the 0-2, catches the inside corner for strike 3, and we are going home happy. 2 strikeouts on the day for Sylvester. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Final line for you, 18 runs for the Oaks on 22 hits. They get 1 error, they leave a total of 8 on base. For the Legends, 1 run, 5 hits, they leave a total of 5 on base. Jonah, your keys to the game came true. Over 10 hits. They got only 1 error, which is pretty limited, and they walked away with the victory.
Unbelievable. I think, I thought when we watched them play against the Ventura Halos, that was their best offensive performance, and you certainly can make the case for that, but you look from top to bottom at the entire Oaks roster. I mean, every single person that came in to either pinch hit or start, they got a hit, and they actually contributed in a major way, and that's something that's extremely substantial and impressive about this team, and if anything, it highlights the depth of their roster and how how talented and loaded they are, especially on the offensive end. I mean, you look from top to bottom. Oliver played great. I could name McFarland had a resurgence.
Every
game.
Oaks batter that played got a hit. That is unbelievable. They had 3 pinch hitters, Jonah, and they all got a hit.
Willems, Jones, and
Santana.
And then Santana. But I think, look, we talked about it. This team is built on offense. We tried to beat around the bush early on in the season, saying, hey, they can still score and win games when they don't exceed 10 hits. They did that in a major way. 22 limited the errors to 1, and they only left 6 on base, and ultimately just a fantastic performance for the Oaks.
2 hours and 41 minutes was game time, 5:01 to 7:42. Head over to Twitter after we cut off the screen. I'll be interviewing head coach David Solis. His CCL South All-Stars won the game yesterday, and his Conejo Oaks won the game today. For all of us who made this broadcast possible, the Long Beach Legends staff, our statistician Keith Schneider, team ops and PA announcer Chris Ruffinelli, all the interns here at Sparky Anderson Field, my amazing broadcasting partner in crime, Jonah Malkin. My name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. Wishing you a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Join us tomorrow when the Oaks take on the Orange County Surf at 5 o'clock, 4:50 pregame show. And that's going to be a fun one. Robbie Medell and Keith Schneider will have the call for you in the middle innings. Jonah and I get a much-needed break. Hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. Once again, my name is Jonathan Rifkin, signing off. The final score, Oaks win at 18-1. Have a beautiful rest of your Thursday.